All right, we're gonna have to do some tweaking. Shabbat shalom, family, if somebody's in here. Mhm.
But ain't they say it's a way that you can get your camera not to do that automatically.
Shabbat shalom. No, that's not issue. I'm fine with that. It's all my house twisted.
Shabbat shalom, y'all. Y'all hear us okay out there? Shabbat shalom. Hey, hallelujah. Oh, when the saints go.
Mm-mm.
Shabbat shalom.
Right there, no,
Let's
go
praise and
ahead.
worship. Oh, when the saints
Where your coach
come
is? Where
out.
your coach Colleen is? She'll join you in the chorus.
Oh, I want to be in the number. How many years old was y'all when y'all found out the Saints was the Hebrews? Oh,
Not too long ago.
they always
Not
told
too
us the
good.
Saints was those that was as how they say uh yeah, who knew the Saints was what in the translation they
Sorry, turn my
translated the
volume up.
bruise to saints. Mm, 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 mm.
Shalom. Oh man, we got a full house. Hallelujah.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, fam.
Shalom, Hebrews and Shebrews.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good to see y'all today. Let me get a an 8 if y'all got your Christmas decorations up yet.
What's them eights? Eight. Oops, wait. Roll crowd.
uh, you know what? They be killing me with the reason for the seasons commercial.
Mhm.
You know, and the reason for the season and
Christmas spirit.
the Christmas spirit. That's the
Oh
one. That's
man,
what I was
that's
trying
a
to think
big
of.
thing.
Patty.
That
Yeah,
was petty.
yeah. I'm
That
a little
was
petty.
petty, sis. He was
I'm a
being
little
petty.
petty. Um, yeah, it's in the spirit. It's about the spirit this season.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, damn straight, it show is
You know what? I'd be like, why did we never see that before
the
now?
Christmas
The
spirit. The
Christmas
Christmas spirit
spirit.
is a spirit. Y'all realize that, right? Like y'all see it now. Now that y'all kind of removing yourselves from Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
the anxiety, the rush, the depression, the brokenness of your bank accounts
Oh, I
when you're trying to make
know.
sure that you get all of them toys and them gifts for people that's gonna
The stress. You be like,
trash it and tell you they didn't really want that, especially your children. You know, some of the most
oh,
ungrateful people
yo,
in the world is your children when you giving them gifts that you trying to
look,
make do with. Maybe like that's all.
baby, you didn't blood, sweat, and tears to get them them gifts, them little gifts. You didn't rob Peter, shot Paul.
Not
You know what I'm
shot Paul.
saying? I'm talking about you, like the things I did something strange to get these gifts this year.
No, no, it's something strange for a little change.
And they look at them gifts and be like, I didn't want this. I wanted that Barbie
Yeah,
supercalifragilistic doll with the drop top coupe.
your grown family ain't no better. They waiting to see what you got them so they can see how much they can get for it when they take it back. And you know, they doing it because you do
Yeah.
it.
What's
You're like, oh, I can get. Yeah, I know what I can do with this.
they open the gift? Oh, girl, this sweater is nice. The gift receipt in the back. Yeah, girl, this is not Erica. I can't. I ain't be saying it. My cousin, I've seen her do this. The gift receipts in the back. Okay, great. Girl, this is nice. I can't wait to wear this.
And then look, and then you got the regifters.
Oh yeah.
Did he regift? He's a
He's a
regifter.
Rick gifter. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm messing with y'all, fam. It's all good. If you're still working on it, you're still working on it. I don't
Yes.
think that was one of the ones that we had issue
Mm.
in our household. Christmas and Easter and all of those.
Thanksgiving was tough because
A little bit tougher, but not much. It was just I think in all honesty, it was the family outside the family and just, you get that's the one time everybody all get together. You're like, okay, I guess that makes sense until y'all pop you for doing it, and you're like, okay, I won't be doing that again.
The last Thanksgiving, we got tricked into keeping. Somebody said, "Oh, this ain't really Thanksgiving. We having jerk turkey."
Yeah, we're gonna jerk a turkey.
It's a Jamaican thing. It ain't this ain't really because we don't get into all that. It's just family coming together. We're gonna have some jerk food and some Jamaican music. So we're like, okay, Thanksgiving like a mug. We felt good. Yeah. That was the last time. And that was like 10 years ago.
Koti Gilead.
No.
Shabbat Shalom, sis.
Koti Tahisha. You trying to come to the mic, sis? Koti.
Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say my aunt, she was trying to trick me into Christmas because she know we love sports. Our family is a sports family. So she was like, "What are you doing on the 25th?" So I was like, "Nothing. I'm gonna be in the house." She didn't say Christmas. She said, "What are you doing on the 25th?" I said, "Nothing. I'm gonna be in the house." I said, I'm gonna watch that's football day. I'm gonna be in the house watching football. And I said I probably watched the Sixers game earlier in the day. So she was like, okay. She's like, you want to come over here and watch with me? So I was like, sure, I'll come over and watch it with you. She's like, and I'm not going to say anything about Christmas, so you don't have to worry about it. We're just going to watch the game. I said, okay. The first time, if I see a Christmas tree, I'm leaving back out. I'm not putting up no Christmas tree. You sent me, I sent her Koti Gabora video. She said, you done sent me enough videos. I'm not putting up the tree. I said, now I'll come watch the game. But the moment you start talking about this the season for Jesus, I'm getting up and I'm leaving. I'm not arguing.
Oh.
I'm not doing nothing.
Up, Auntie. Keep it on the
I said, I would just stay in the house and watch the game. Because let me just, and then I don't want to argue with you about football. Let me just stay in the house. She's trying to get me to her house.
Yeah, that's probably safe bet, especially if you don't want to fall out with your family and you don't want to cause them to blaspheme. That's a big one. And it's like, we don't agree. So why are we trying to get together in fellowship? Because that's what that is, right? Why are we trying to get together in fellowship on Christmas or Easter or any of those days? You just go ahead and do what you're doing and let us be. I want to.
Yeah.
Let me do me. And, we'll talk again when it ain't that day.
Hey. Koti Kimmy?
My mama called me this morning. She said, I know you're not coming over on Monday, but I just want to know when you plan on coming over because I know you're going to want a plate. So I'm going to put some food to the side for you to come get it one of them days. I said, no, mama, I'm good. I said, I'm going to be on a fast this week. So I really ain't going to want no food like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? So she said, you going to fast during the holidays, Kim? I was like, yeah, Mom.
The nerve of you fasting during the holidays.
Like, what? These dark times, the best
times. She was upset.
It's family, fam. It's family. That is family, and then yourself. But don't nobody know you like fam. Don't nobody know where all your triggers and all your pressure points are. Don't nobody know how to dig and jab. You talking about, I know you. You ain't.
Yeah. What
you better now. You better than
what T.I. son kept telling him, because see, I know you. See, I know you.
Yeah.
See, I know you. I know where the body's buried.
Yeah. See, no, and see what you gotta do, fam. You gotta tell them, I'm trying real hard to be the shepherd. Trying not to snatch you up.
But after all this time, our family don't even try. They know our family don't even try no more. They be like, yeah. They just respect it. You know what I'm saying? They don't send checks in the mail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one year, boy, that test, we was hurt. You know what I'm saying? You know how you get to them times where you guiltily feeding your children hot dogs. I mean, oodles and noodles with hot dogs cut up in them. You know what I'm saying? Then for a little vegetable, you may sprinkle, a little green onion in there, something. Good
That's
there.
good eating, ain't it?
That's good eating.
Yeah.
And then you know what I'm saying? I mean, hurting though. And boy, my aunt sent a $250 check in the mail
Right.
and put a big old whopping Merry Christmas at the bottom of it. I'm like, ain't he? Like, without the Merry Christmas, I mean, right to the bank.
We were just talking about pledging allegiance. Like we were talking about we was talking about these scriptures that we were reading over with children earlier, and just signs and symbols, right? Like people don't realize when you put a cross on your neck, you are making so I was joking with children. I said, children, did you know Pledge of Allegiance is not one word? And so you are actually making a pledge of allegiance with someone or something. Either you are pledging your allegiance to Yahuwah, YAHUSHUA, or you are pledging allegiance with someone or something else. And with that check having Merry Christmas on it, it's like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Them be the tests, though. Those be the tests
yep.
that the Most High allowed, in your life. Because we turned around, though, when I tore up that test, I kid you not, we turned around and was blessed. Like, I think you had, like, got a better job or something, but, like, we was blessed, like, right behind me tearing up that check. And so it be those little tests. It'd be like, what's that scripture we were just reading today about enduring temptation, enduring trial? Y'all remember which one that was?
It's in your notes.
It's in your notes about enduring trial. It said, blessed is the man who endures trials or endures temptation. You know what I'm saying? James what? James 1 and 12. You know what I'm saying? That's the perfect scripture. Like, man, trust me. Like, these things happen in our life, boy. Just be like a test. We live in this simulation. Gotta get through it.
Akoti, Latasha, yeah, we were just talking about that. That that led to the Pledge of Allegiance in school conversation, and that was one of the reasons that we did begin homeschooling, is because it's basic commandments 101, right? You don't put anyone or anything above Yah. And so for you to ask my child to make a pledge of allegiance to a flag, first of all, sir or ma'am, that's an inanimate object. I don't think the Most High will be happy with that. Second of all, I pledge my allegiance to the Heavenly Father. Is that okay with you? I know you about God and country, right? So I pledge allegiance to the Heavenly Father. That's it. Outside of that, if I was going to pledge allegiance to anybody, it would be my family, not this country. Because contrary to what people may believe or know, we are not immigrants. We didn't immigrate over here. And so you're just going to have to deal with that. Like, I'm about patriotism, all about patriotism for my nation. My nation.
Shabbat Shalom, Koti. You asking me to pledge allegiance to a country my people still can't find justice. You know what I'm saying? Please.
We still dealing with taxation without representation.
You know what I'm saying? My people still getting kicked in the street. I'm sorry.
And Tyler was and they was just like, because Tyler was sitting there and they told her she had to stand up and she said no. So they have this in-house detention room in her school. So they sent her there. And they called me and they told me. So I was like, well, why is she being sent there? So they was like, she didn't want to stand up during the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was like, okay, and that's her right. She don't want to pledge allegiance to this country nor that flag. She already pledged her allegiance to someone, and it's the Most High Yah. So what are you talking about? So then they was like, well, Mom, I was like, you're not going to force her to stand up to pledge allegiance to your God.
Exactly.
As simple as that. And they was like, they said something. I was like, well, how about this? I'll be up to the school and I'll get all her records and I'm going to sign her up for homeschool. It's like, no, you don't have to take it that drastic. We don't want to go there. I was like, so don't take my daughter out of the detention room, send her back to her class. Because they just feel like, because Tyler's a part of the honor society. So they was trying to strip her of certain things. And I was like, that's not going to make or break her. Like, if you want to take her out of the honor society program, take her out. If you want to take her out of honors class, take her out. It's not going to make her or break her. She's still not standing up, pledging allegiance. Or they was doing. She said they were doing a debate, and they was talking about like nations and stuff like that. And she was talking about us as being Israelites. Yeah. And her teacher was like trying to shut her up, and she was like, "No, if it's supposed to be a pro and con debate, and I'm telling you about who I am as and my person as in my nation, then why do I have to be quiet?" And then he's allowed to talk about Islam, or she's allowed to talk about Judaism.
Wow.
And I'm like, So she in her honor society, they have like a debate class, and they take them out. Like, she just came back from Washington D.C. and it was just a whole big thing. They called me. I'm like, I don't know what y'all want me to do. That y'all told her to write a debate on her nation. She wrote a debate on her nation.
Right.
What do y'all want me to do?
Yeah, sis, listen. Yeah, what we got to do is we have to start identifying religious persecution when we encounter it, and make them own up to what they're doing. You know, when they're attacking you for your beliefs, you got to confront them about that and be like, this is not about, you know, somebody being insubordinate. I'm gonna use that term. It's the term of the last couple of weeks here. It's not about somebody being insubordinate. This is about someone standing up for what they believe, and supposedly that's what this country is founded on, right? So when this young individual is standing up for what they believe, and it's about their nationality and their culture, then what you're doing is persecuting them for their culture. Is I'm sure that's not what you want to do, is it? You don't want to go on record as persecuting us for our beliefs, do you? Make them defend it. Make them defend it. We have to start doing it.
Yeah, it has to be forced. And I think with Tyler, she's quiet, but she's not going to back down on what she believes. And they didn't put her in the wrong place. They put her in the debate class. It's up. She's not stopping. She just be telling them like, no. And then she'd tell one of the boys, I think she was going back and forth with one of them, because she watched one of the documentaries about the Arab people, and when Islam started, and how they were one of the first to take us into into captivity, as far as like with Ishmael people and stuff like that. And she was talking to him about it, and she was like, well, and then she had to ask him, she was like, well, I don't even know. You might be a Hamite, or you might be an Ishmaelite. So let me not keep saying that you're an Israelite. She was like, but I just feel like because you're in this country, you should know better. And it was a whole, and they called me and they asked me to come to the school, and we sat down, we had a conversation. They was like, she just have to have a better approach. And I'm like, well, what do y'all want her to say or do? If it's a debate class, how is she supposed to approach a debate? She's supposed to approach it in an attack so she can win. And if he don't have a counterattack, that's not her fault. Or am I incorrect?
Wow.
As a parent, I don't know. I had to ask him, like, or am I teaching her incorrectly? What do you want me to do? She attacked in a debate. He's supposed to have her counterattack, and she's supposed to have something back to him. And that's the only thing about with East Coast schools, they'll give you all these different classes, but they don't want you to like really they want you to still follow their agenda.
Mm-hmm. Coach T, Shatana, you said you had to pull your little one out because they told him he couldn't wear his tassels,
and they threw him away.
Yeah,
oh, that's a lawsuit
again, sis. This is
what
they are.
Yeah.
And I realize they don't know it,
So,
but yeah, that's against the law.
So, about 3 weeks ago, Max came home from school. He was crying. Mm-hmm. And I asked him what was wrong. He was like, Mommy, the tassels that you told me that I could wear for our culture, the teacher told me that I couldn't have them on. And I told her, yes, I can, because it goes with my culture. And she unpinned them and threw them away.
Baby.
So
Sis,
I
that's
proceeded
a
to
lawsuit.
yeah, I proceeded to become an angry black mom, and I had to go repent for it afterwards because I used a lot of colorful language that we should not be using. And I told them that I would be seeking counsel because they're not.
Yes,
And I
that's a
politely pulled
lawsuit.
him out of school.
That's a lawsuit all day.
Yeah.
That's a lawsuit
Kimmy, I
all
tried.
day.
I wanted to so bad, but they've been itching for a reason to lock me up.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, Akoti Kimmy, but this is what they want, right? They want you to use the colorful language. They want you to get violent because then it waters down what you're saying. Like they don't have to listen to you once you do that. They can dismiss you as being the angry black woman or the angry black man
Yep.
and say, "See, I told you it was
Yeah.
just a nigga
Yep.
doing nigga stuff," right? And so what we have to do, and I'm not coming down on you in any way, sis. We have to hit them with the facts and with the law. You got to hit them with the facts and with the law because that stops them dead in their tracks.
Yep.
Stop them dead in their tracks. And I'm not saying that they won't still give you pushback. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that's the correct route to take. That, and I would say first and foremost, seek Yah. First and foremost, go to Yah. But yeah, you got to hit it with the facts and hit it with the law because there's laws already set in place to protect you against the stuff you're doing,
I
but
had
they
to
not familiar with
apologize
them,
because
and they banking on the fact
I
that we
did
not
not go to
familiar.
y'all first. I blanked out.
Yeah. I'm not even
It
gonna
was
lie.
bad.
I probably at first, you know what I'm saying? Like you throw my child's tassels away.
Yeah.
I cannot promise diplomacy.
Yeah, and listen, I get that too. I'm not saying that I wouldn't show up and be a physical, ominous presence. They gonna get all the looks, but the words out of my mouth are gonna be, although biting and belittling, are not gonna be something they can take and say, "Oh, he cussed us out," or "Oh, he did this."
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm not saying that it's not gonna be very clear that I'm upset and angry. I'm agreeing with that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna get them satisfaction.
Oh,
I'm not taking
okay.
me seriously.
So IsraeliteJustice.org, that's a good link to click on. Is that Benaya's Koti, is that what Benaya and them got going on? Koti Ania? That's a great link to click. That's they trying to help Bruce.
That's my whole.
Oh, I hope we didn't Bruce.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's the Koti, try to click on them and tell them what happened.
Hey.
Try to tell them what happened, and they'll help you seek justice.
Evidently, the website has sound to it. I clicked on it, and that's what y'all hear.
Sure. I am Benaya.
Give me 1 second, fam.
And I
That's
would like to
the
welcome
commercial.
you to the African Israelite Justice Foundation. Roughly.
Okay, my bad. I didn't realize I was gonna start playing the commercial when I clicked on it.
Yeah, that's a good link to click on. Y'all all should save that. Y'all all should save have that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought about giving them a ring.
You remember when do you remember when Tima told the teacher she couldn't participate in what was it, the Christmas party? Halloween?
No, Tima told the teacher that.
Yeah.
And they sent her to a lower grade level.
They sent her and made her sit with little children and
Sent her to the
demean her.
class,
She
the
came
kindergarten
home
class.
crying like I said, they made me go with the little children, and I'm like, wait, why? Yeah, we went up there.
Sure did.
We went up there.
Sure did.
They ain't do that again, honey.
Yeah. The ADL is a good website to read. Although it is put together by,
they is not
the
your
ish
friend.
people, but the law is the law, is what I'm saying. And so the laws they put in placed to protect them are there also to protect you because you're the real people, right? And so
That is true.
if the law, if in other words, they're saying on that website they can't specifically tell you can't wear your tassels at school or at work.
Sure do.
They're saying they can't specifically tell you you can't keep the Sabbath. You can't specifically keep Passover, right? And so you can hit them. They're going to give you the law, the statute, Title 7. I'm trying to think of it. Of the Civil Rights Code, Title 7. I know it. I can't think of it offhand right now. But they're going to give you all of that, and you can cut, copy, paste, put it in a letter to whoever you need to put it to address it to. And what you do when you do that, or you have your counsel send them a letter from your lawyer. That's fine too. But what you're going to do when you show them that is let them know how serious you are.
You know, scripture comes to mind with the ADL website. The hole you dug for me is the one you're gonna fall in.
That's right.
Like you set up all that stuff to protect and cover yourself, and it's gonna protect and cover the people as well, the real people.
Yeah, all that type of stuff. That's illegal. You can't make a Christmas party mandatory.
Yeah, a mandatory show up for work day. I'm gonna be late. What time the Christmas party over?
Well, not show up for work. Like they can mandate that you show up for work, but they can't mandate that you participate in the Christmas party.
Yeah.
So, like, I show up to work and work.
Yeah.
But I'm not participating in the Christmas party. And if you don't want me to work, then I'll stay home. Right? Yeah, remember, fam, this is the dark times of the year, right? This is the season, and it's right. I don't believe in coincidence. It's right after the fall harvest. It's right after we wrap up all of the appointed times for Abba Yah. And you should be walking away with that with strength and encouragement. But what I was saying we was doing that is you got to store this up. You need to bank all of the feelings and all of the feelings of building up your ruach and all of that. You need to store all of that up because now you got to stretch going into the dark times of the year where the enemy is going to be swelling up with pride and they're going to start coming at you and they're going to come at you with everything they got. Like I said, he will use your family, your friends, and he's going to come at you with all the slings and all the arrows and try to get you to break, bend, or fold. But one thing I learned from Peter one time. Go ahead. Yeah, so this is it, man.
I got you. Right. Don't never fold. Don't never let me go. I'm just butchering.
And look, and fam, when y'all get hit with that type of stuff, the website is good. If y'all want to call or text us and ask us, if this is something that we've dealt with, we've dealt with some of that stuff sometimes,
Sure,
So if we can help direct y'all, we will. We don't mind. If you need documents to send, if you need, websites to review, absolutely.
No, you okay, sis? Look,
don't apologize.
Don't beat up. Don't do that.
This is the learning process,
yeah.
Right? And going through these trials and enduring, as scripture say, enduring through these trials help build you up.
Yeah. Remember what we was just saying. You need to make a diamond and take pressure. So to make you into the vessel of the Most High that you're striving to be, it take pressure.
Hey, this is the proving grounds. This is the proving grounds where you sharpen yourself for next time.
Yeah, we was just telling the children, we was using the reference of Neo in the Matrix when he was dodging them bullets. I told him, imagine them bullets is like the arrows that the adversary shoot at you. He shoot them just like that sometimes. And sometimes, you get your Neo in the Matrix on, but every now and again you get caught. You may get caught by one of them bullets. The goal is you don't lay down and, you get back up.
Okay.
And you keep on dodging because they're going to keep on coming as long as you got breath. And he, the devil program He's programmed to do what he doing. And they gonna keep coming. They ain't gonna stop.
And listen, it ain't over, fam.
Yep.
Like you got Monday and then you got New Year's. And how many brews gonna justify New Year's and be like, okay, I didn't celebrate Christmas, but
Yeah.
surely it's okay to have a little
Have me a little
New Year's
go out
toast,
and
right?
go out and while they shooting rockets towards the sky to
Like Nimrod.
like Nimrod and them did. Now see my question is, and this is the good research project. When Nimrod and them went and they decided after they built the Tower of Babel to shoot rockets up towards the sky.
They called them arrows back then, but you know.
Yeah. Why is that something today that the whole world does?
4th of July. In celebration of being liberated. You firing arrows in the sky.
Firing
rockets in the
arrows
sky.
up the sky. Yep. Why did they change New Year's Day? Did they change New Year's Day to fit the day that Nimrod and them sent them rockets to the sky? These are all questions. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know.
Why is April Fool's right around the real New Year's?
Ain't that something? You know what I'm saying? Ain't that something?
It's like they saying, wah wah.
Yeah.
Got you.
Well, I say they do it every holiday in Texas. Wow.
Ain't that something?
Why is that a form of liberation? Why is that the sign of liberation? Shooting rockets up in the air.
Okay. Trying to crack the dome.
What are they saying? Liberated from who? I'm just saying, you got to start putting this stuff together. Akoti Gabor. What happened to you, Akoti Gabor?
Now that's the argument that I just had with my mom. They accepted the Christmas. Well, it wasn't too much feedback because they had something to say, but it wasn't really bad. But they just tried to get me for the New Year's because in our family, the New Year's was a big thing. I mean, we come from Detroit, Alabama, and everybody congregates into California. And it's a feast from breakfast all the way to dinner. They would pray over everybody in the family. Like it's a really big thing. So my sister's like, New Year's, it's not, we don't really celebrate it as New Year's, it's the family. Like, don't you want to come get prayer and, just to see everyone? And I'm like, and it's funny because y'all mentioned Nimrod because that's the video that I'm actually working on at this time. So I'm mentioning all of that, So I'm like, do you realize what it is? She's like, oh my God, like you don't have a story for New Year's Day too, And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, the video gonna be out in about 2 weeks,
There you go.
But it was so funny because we really had this discussion last week because she was like, come on, sis, like you didn't miss everything. Like New Year's though, come on, New Year's. I'm like, yeah, nah. So yeah, they trying to get it. People don't realize that New Year's celebration is a thing, but Nimrod started all the pagan stuff that's going around today anyway. So,
well, it back in the day that it was a big deal that they were just a few generations after the flood, and so man was under a constant state of paranoia because they never knew if the Most High was going to flood the earth again. And so you had wicked men who was afraid to kind of just be free and live their best life because, live their own personal truth because they never knew if the Most High, and it was a feeling of bondage for them. Yeah. And so Nimrod told them, you know what? That's it. We ain't going to live under this tyranny anymore. You know what I'm saying? We're going to build the tower. We're going to go up and we're going to make war with him. That way he can never, he can never terrorize. He can never flood the earth again because we're going to go take matters in our own hands. We're not going to wait for his punishment. And the people was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they all got behind him.
God came Nimrod.
You know what I'm saying? And so, because Nimrod's still the god of the world today, him and his Isha, you know what I'm
That
saying?
spirit, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They still hanging on that. They still hanging on that promise. Like, you know what I'm saying? We counting on you, especially now that we see these signs wrapping up.
Yeah.
You promised us that if we were loyal to you, and we, when I say loyal, I'm talking about families that's been loyal to this royal family of evil, this access of evil. These families have been loyal to them forever. They have operated through these families generations forever. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
Say,
And you know,
go ahead.
I was telling Coty Tasha last week. I was like, I can't even do this video on Nimrod in one video with it being an hour. It has to be 2 videos. The stuff I found, like tracing him through history and through the different cultures, it's astounding. Like how many names him and his mama wife, that's what I call her, his mama wife.
That's so nasty.
And she's bigger than him.
But
now try to do a video on her.
Y'all
Yes,
ever
boy,
thought
you
about
know,
that
she the one.
term? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like she really took the flag like after his death and like ran and made him even bigger than what he originally was. So yeah, she was like the driving force, you know, like once he died, she was like the driving force of everything. But I'm just saying, like, for the whole thing, like, you married your son, like, what? It's crazy. Yeah, and
Let
then
me.
to see, like, go ahead.
No, I didn't want you to stop your point. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying to see, like, even through scripture, to see like her son be mentioned in scripture, and we really didn't know who it was that the prophets were actually talking about. It's crazy. Like the stuff that I'm finding is it's crazy. Yeah. But he was the epitome of everything pagan that you see
Access of
today
evil.
in every culture. Yes, in every culture.
Yep.
There's your Trinity.
There it is.
There's your Trinity right there.
Yep.
I called it the
Y'all ever-
nasty. What did I call it on my Christmas video? I called it the nasty Trinity or something like that. But yeah,
It is. And listen, yeah, for anybody that's still working on profanity and using foul language, y'all ever thought about what you're saying when you call somebody a mother effer?
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness.
That was Nimrod. Was it not?
He was the original mother effer, I guess.
Was it not?
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
bad.
it's crazy. It's so much with my. Like you say, he went by so many names, and people took up, you know, all the stuff they started and took it to all those different places. He was the first. Yep. He was the first.
He was the original.
All these different places, and even. Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Kelsey, is your hand up? Is that little emoji for your hand up, or?
Go ahead. All the Detroit people coming up to the mic. Come on up to the mic.
Detroit, the house.
No, that was a raised hand. I have a problem.
Oh, okay.
With profane language. I'm currently working on it. Well, actually, my son is currently working on me with it because he has developed the swear jar, and for every cuss word he hears me say, it's $3.
Dang, your cuss word's expensive. I'll be
why
broke.
did we do the swear jar?
Oh, I'll be broke. We gonna have to start our jar like 10 cents.
Nah,
Let's
we
start.
our jar.
Let's start
for the author over here, $20.
Oh my goodness, no.
$20.
I'll be broke. Look at my children like, oh yes.
I don't know what y'all getting excited for. Daddy need a new motorcycle.
Oh my goodness.
After you guys start sitting there around a collection plate every time a profanity word come out, then the collection plate around.
Those some expensive curse words, child.
Yes.
He knows some real money or Monopoly. That's a Monopoly money I can do.
No.
Let it rain.
It need to be real money. I got some things I need to take care of.
Man.
USD, that's right.
I don't know what you're talking. You the one that's gonna be paying for my swear words.
No.
Where you think it's coming from? Our
No,
account.
No. Yeah. Family, y'all know. Y'all been watching some good Christmas origin videos and
Did she say she had 287
Sheesh. Sis. My goodness.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, goodness.
It's so much good stuff out there at this point. Like I don't even find it necessary for us to redo another one. Because, for those that need it, man, you can pretty much throw a stone and find a good origin of Christmas.
So I seen a good one. They was talking about the one on Krampus was good. So like before they took, a lot of people don't know before that Christmas started off being banned here in America. So the Puritans, the first Puritans, the ones, the original Christians here, they banned Christmas because Christmas was such a salacious and wicked, you know what I'm saying? And back then, Santa's helper, which is now is Rudolph, but before it was Rudolph, it was Krampus. You know what I'm saying? Krampus was it was the Baphomet, so the goat. He was followed around. His helper was this goat. And the goat would take the little children and molest the children. So if your children was naughty, they had to sacrifice them to Krampus. You know what I'm saying? And so the first Puritans that was here was like, we can't, and you would get crazy drunk, you get just abandon your good morals.
Yep.
All during this time. You know what I'm saying? And so it was banned here.
If anybody hasn't already, look up Saturnalia. I just typed it in the room. Saturnalia was, like Rib just said, it was so raucous and debaucherous that people would be running around naked and drunk in the streets.
Women got raped, children came up missing. Yep. It
was hellish. And like Rib said, when the first Puritans got here, it was like, there's no way. That is not godlike.
Yeah.
That is obscene. We would not be allowing that here. They kept toning it down and fine tuning it until it became what it is today.
You know who it was? It was. Let me tell you why it became legal here. It was the what's the salesman? What the scripture called the salesman? The people who sell stuff, the merchants. It was the merchants. Remember Revelations say it's the merchants that's gonna mourn the most when this whore go up. Okay. It was the merchants. The merchants is behind a lot of the wickedness. And just it was the merchants. Once they realized how much money they can make during Christmas time, it was the merchants that pushed to revamp Christmas, to resell it.
Yep. And now what they've done is they've combined. If you think about the season all together as a whole, from Halloween, Samhain, whatever, to Thanksgiving to Christmas to New Year's. If you take all of that and smash it all together, that's Saturnalia.
Yeah.
Like the drunkenness, the partying that you do for New Year's, combined with the toasting and the gift giving for Christmas, combined with the dressing up and the masquerading,
and then summoning the demons,
and then the gluttonous stuffing yourself of Thanksgiving till you just can't stuff yourself no more. That's Saturnalia.
That's Saturnalia. Just think about that, like what's being done during that time.
Yep.
Coach Latasha.
No, I just did a lesson on that. It's at my school with the kids, and I got in trouble for it because they believe in Christmas. I got in trouble for it because They said I'm not allowed to teach the children. But I said, y'all asked me to teach a lesson on Christmas, and I taught them a lesson on Christmas.
You can't be
And
teaching that woke stuff.
I felt like I was justified because I told them to unscramble Santa's name, and it spells out Satan. And I told them that
Oh
the
my
elves
goodness,
are really
girl.
prompt.
Do you have little
What?
Gentile children at your school? Oh my goodness, they gonna come get you.
I do.
No,
You got
you
a
didn't
mixture
tell
of
them children Santa wasn't real, did you? Not only did she
I
tell them he
did.
wasn't real, that he was Satan. Oh my goodness.
He was Satan.
The parents
They
ain't been
old enough to
protesting yet.
understand him.
I'm surprised you ain't been
And
on
they
the news.
did.
I'm surprised they got you on the news over there in Baltimore.
Right.
Baltimore.
No,
I'm
they
surprised you
ain't.
ain't on the
She's not in
news.
Baltimore.
What's
They
she
in,
at?
they in
Jersey.
Philly.
Because I didn't understand.
Jersey.
Listen, they didn't give me a guideline. They said, oh, you got to put together a
Girl,
lesson
we
surrounding
gonna see
Christmas.
Tasha
And
on
I
the
said,
news
y'all
next
know
week.
I don't believe in Christmas. No, oh,
We,
no, but you can still just tell them
we gonna
about the
see.
winter time.
And that's
Okay.
what they get.
This is what the news.
And that's what they get.
This is what the newscaster. It's today's news. A Philly
Angry.
woman, a
Wow.
Philly teacher, was brought up on charges for telling a bunch of what grade you teach kindergarten that Santa was Satan.
Yeah.
And they go interview Tasha. Do you have anything to say for your action? Yeah, I got something to say. It's the truth. He's Satan. This whole world going to hell. You all going to hell.
Is it kindergarten for real? Is it kindergarten?
It's a kindergarten.
Gardens.
What grade?
What
They
grade
are
sis?
kindergarten.
They are?
Kindergarten. So they 5 and 6. So
Teach
at
me
5
up,
and
sis.
6,
Teach
I
me
feel
up.
like they should understand.
Listen,
5 and
sis.
6-year-olds should understand. They know how to do puzzles.
Let me be real serious real quick for 1 second. Very serious. And with all the love and sincerity I can muster.
Oh my goodness.
Let us know
Yeah.
when you develop your online class, because I don't think you're gonna be there long.
No, Tasha, I don't
so we can spread the word and have people sign up, because you're gonna move to teaching online in a little bit, I
If you end up
believe.
in prison, we'll start a fund. Tell us early so we can start the fund to
No,
get you out of prison.
it's the right thing to do. There's nothing wrong with it, but
Ooh.
I'm curious. I'm curious how long they're gonna let you do that before they,
No,
you
and
know, like this has got to stop.
She gonna end up on the news.
Yeah,
I'm
but
telling
it's not my fault. This is actually, since I've been there, I've been in the school, at that school specifically for the last 4 years, but I never worked during this season. They always gave me off this season.
Yeah.
So this is my first time ever working during the season. So I really didn't understand or know how they operated. So they canceled our holiday ball, as they want to call it. Because I'm like, I don't celebrate Christmas. What do y'all want me to do? I'm not coming. My class is not going to participate. They're like, oh, no, you have to participate. So it was a song that I
you said
filmed
your whole
online.
class ain't participating.
Yeah, the whole class not participating. I'm not going to be here. What you want me to do? I will not be here to celebrate your day and night holiday.
If they want to go forward. Yeah.
That's what I felt.
I bet you they learned today.
Yeah.
But next year they ain't gonna have you show up.
I don't blame you.
I will not be. I may not be there in January. You said next year. I may not be there in January.
You may not, sis. You may not.
Let's hope and pray, because I do like
some little child gonna say, "Hey, mom, did you know that Santa is Satan?" They're like, "Who told you that?" My teacher. She had receipts. My teacher had receipts.
If you put together online curriculum for that's Hebrew centric, I'm sure people would sign up for it. I'm sure people would enroll their children.
Now, this might be Abiya's sign letting you know you may need to start your own little thing. You may need to.
If you got some old coatees or ox that also teach and is in the truth, this is something that our community is missing. If I'm being 100% honest, you know, this is something that we are honestly missing is our own people teaching our children.
That's true.
For when you need to go above and beyond what mom and dad can teach in the home. Somebody is certified in foreign language and math and engineering and stuff like that.
Now, back in the day, the Levites used to be the teachers. So your town Levi, everybody send them my way, please.
Mhm.
Your town Levite was the teacher, or your parish, or was the teacher. So, like, whoever the wealthy family was in the area, the Levite probably operated from, and then little town children would go, and the Levite would teach them, But the number one teacher, it starts at home.
In the home, yeah.
It starts
The Levites would instruct in Torah, and then in the system of government, there was our culture. But yeah, first in the home,
That's
right?
the first teacher.
First in the home. Like, who else is supposed to teach our children basics but mom and dad?
Yeah.
But what's weird is all the teachers, when they come into my class, they like, we know that this is not Christ's birthday, and we know that it has nothing to do with Jesus, but it's just like, the holiday spirit. And I'm like, if you want that spirit to embody you, that's your business. Don't come in my classroom. Yeah. And they like, what spirit? I'm like, the spirit of Satan. Hell,
Spirit you
want
just
to be
said, the
taken
holiday
there?
spirit.
Yeah. But I would like, let it embody you out there in your room. Don't come in here. And they like, Miss Martin, that's not. I said, I'm letting y'all know right now. I said, today you jolly, and tomorrow you're going to be depressed. And then the next day you're going to have anxiety. And then the next day you're going to have fear. And then the next day you're going to be looking at your mom and dad like, I shouldn't have spent all this money. And then Christmas morning going to come, y'all going to open up all your gifts, and y'all going to be bowing down to your God. And then when y'all get back up, you're going to be looking at your bank account, and you're going to just be like, oh my God, they really didn't need that. And then your head going to be like, I got to work in overtime to get all my money back. Who wants to live like that? So so we had a teacher's end of the year meeting, and they gave everybody bonuses and stuff like that within like gift cards and stuff for their Christmas bonus. So that's like, Miss Martin, we know you don't celebrate Christmas and you don't celebrate New Year's either. And I was like, no. So they was like, so when can we give you a bonus? I said, you should just give me a bonus because I'm an amazing teacher and I'll be telling y'all the truth.
Yeah.
I take my end of the year bonus.
Yeah, give me my end of the year bonus. Don't give out a Christmas bonus. It's presumptuous at best to assume that everybody celebrate Christmas. But yeah, give your employees a bonus.
Give me my end of the year bonus.
I'll take my bonus. You know how much my job gave me for a bonus? $50. A $50 debit card. You know they could do better than that.
They can do better than that.
But yeah, listen, fam, when they hit you with that holiday stuff, you know how you back them up off of you? Tell them what you celebrate. I don't celebrate Easter. I celebrate Passover.
Yeah.
I celebrate atonement, or I keep atonement.
I
celebrate unleavened bread. And when you start throwing those names out there, it will trigger with them that they might need to back up. It shouldn't be a big debate. Like, I'll forget which one of y'all that was that posted it, but you don't have the same issues with Muslims, right? And you don't have the same issue with the Ish people or with the Buddhist people. So what it is we have to require that our culture receive the same amount of respect. That's all it is. Yeah. All right.
Ready to get started? Ready?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. Family, wrapping up 2 Samuel.
Yeah.
Wrapping up 2 Samuel and get ready to head off into
1 King.
Melachim Aleph.
Melachim.
We're gonna talk about that, boy. How you calling kings Melachim?
We're gonna get into Samuel really was about David and Saul, but kings get into all them kings. Tell you a little bit about all of them, what they had gonna. We get into Shlomo too.
And by way of the kings, the Levites. All right, let's do it. So what are we picking up in 22? All right.
All right. Then Dawid spoke to Yahuwah the words of this song on the day when Yahuwah had delivered him from the hand of all his enemies and from the hand of Shaul. And he said, Yahuwah is my rock and my stronghold and my deliverer. My power is my rock. I take refuge in him. My shield and the horn of my deliverance. My high tower and my refuge. My savior. You save me from violence. I call on Yahuwah, the one to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. For the waves of death surround me. Floods of Belial made me afraid. The cords of Sheol were all around me.
What's Sheol?
The grave,
The grave.
the hell, what people call hell.
Cords of the grave are all around me.
The snares of death were before me. In my distress, I called upon Yahuwah. And to my power, I cried. And from his heckle, he heard my voice, and my cry was in his ears. And the earth shook and trembled. The foundation of the heaven was troubled, because he was wroth. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and devouring fire from his mouth. Coals were kindled by it. And he bowed the heavens and came down, and thick darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and flew, and was seen upon the wings of the wind.
Oh, dog, wait a minute. Let me put some. No. Hey, this reminds me of something. This reminds me, and I thought it was only in one place that we saw that description. My man said, let me back up here. I called upon Yahuwah, the one to be praised. Same as Ezekiel encountered the word.
We're within the wheel.
Waves of death surrounded me. He was in distress. Cords of the grave all around me. And it says, from his temple, that's what Hekel is, Hekal. From his temple, he heard my voice. So we read that what Moses was instructed to build was a shadow of the heavenly. And then again, also what David gave to Shlomo was a shadow or was a copy of that as well. So from his temple, and as he heard his cry, the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of the heavens were troubled because he was wroth. Because little old Dawid? You telling me because little old Dawid was in trouble, Yahuwah shook the earth to come to his aid? Man, I'm trying to be like Dawid.
Me too, bro.
And he put on darkness as boots. That's like dark clouds. Oh, I didn't mean to go ahead of where you were.
Oh, this is we are in 2 Samuel 22. I think we are on verse.
Hold on for that post too.
10. Yes, Koti Aniya posted the set apart Hebrew school link.
Okay.
If y'all want to check that out on Facebook.
I'm gonna check that out. Let me copy that real quick so I can save it for that way I don't lose it when we close the room out. Give me 1 second, man. I'm always interested in stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't want to go ahead of you, but man, yeah. Coals were kindled. Okay.
He put on darkness around him as boots, so he put on a cloak of dark. So he put them, you know what I'm saying? Let's roll. Darkness of waters, thick clouds. From the brightness before him, coals of fire were kindled.
This is while riding on the cherub.
So like
11.
Yeah. So who's ever like been outside and there's one cloud in the sky. The rest of the sky is just completely clear, but there's one cloud in the sky and there's a light show going on behind it. And you like, what the word? Yeah, I know. I remember you seeing it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're like, what is going on up there? You know what I'm saying? Yahuwah thundered from the heavens, and the Most High sent forth his voice. And he sent out arrows and scattered them, lightning and confused them.
Those are the arrows. Wow.
And the channels of the sea were seen. The foundation of the world were uncovered.
Mm.
And the rebuke of Yahuwah at the blast of the breath of his nostril. He sent from above. He took me. He drew me out of many waters.
Mm.
He delivered me from my strong enemy, from those hating me. For they were stronger than I.
Mm.
They confronted me in the day of my calamity, but Yahuwah was my support.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you
Go
off.
ahead.
But this sounds like he is exalting Abba for bringing him through the stuff we just read about in the last few chapters, right? And a lot of Psalms reads like this. But it's like you reading about Dawid exclaiming in his time of calamity, and it read like he talking about physical enemies sometimes, and sometimes it read like he talking about spiritual enemies.
Like he clearly battling demons. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
And you know, with them giants coming at him, you know what I'm saying? We just heard about that battle. He almost lost because he was getting up in age.
Dang.
He was fighting a giant. Now he known to be the giant slayer. So you know it ain't enough for him. You need a giant kill. Say less.
Forget about
it. I'm going out to kill a giant. But that last giant he found, he struggled because he was getting up in age. So his boys had to go help. So it say, you know, he did. Where I leave off? He sent from above. Okay, he did my calamity. Okay, and he brought me out into a large place.
Mm-hmm.
He delivered me for he delighted in me. Yahuwah rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanliness of my hands. He repaid me.
This fit right in what we were reading earlier.
For I have guarded the ways of Yahuwah and have not acted wrongly against my power. For all his right rulings are before me. Remember, say what? And for his laws, I do not turn from them. Boom.
See, I remember Messiah saying that my Father is always with me because I always do what pleases him. It's a reference to him following law, statutes, and commandments. And we were reading some scriptures with the children earlier, and it was all saying the same thing. It's interesting because you see where, again, it's confirmed that Yahushua is not saying anything different. He's saying something that's always been established. If Yah's servant showed that he loved Yah, Yah is there for his servant and rewards his servant with only good things and uplifts his servant and protects his servant. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Why should we fear? Why should we live in a state of fear when Abba Yah will do for you the same thing that Yahushua said he would do for him? Yahushua said, can I not call down a legion of angels right now if I wanted to? And this is basically what's going on with Dawid. Dawid is like, in the time of my distress, he sent whatever I need.
Messiah
as long as I'm being obedient.
The Messiah told us that Abba Yah don't even the hair of the sparrow, you know what I'm saying? Even that little sparrow he look after.
Right.
So what do you think? You know, so like, you know, Abba Yah so awesome that little things that we take for granted, like little birds flying through the trees and little, you know, bugs, you know, Abba Yah know it all and know they
to the field. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's wild. Okay. Now what about time?
23, 24.
Okay. For all of his right rulings are before me. As for his laws, I do not turn from them. And I am perfect before him. And I guard myself from my crookedness.
Ain't nobody perfect.
And Yahuwah repays me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanliness before his eyes. With the loving commitment ones, you show yourself loving commitment. Now, does this mean, is David saying he never sinned?
Well, he said he was perfect. So
we saw David sin, didn't we? But David didn't stay down. David made it right. If he sinned, like once it was brought forth before his eyes what he done, my man repented like ass, sackcloth, like, you know what I'm saying? And he learned from his, you know what I'm saying? Even when the old man was walking outside and throwing rocks at him, taunting him, he's like, this from you.
So let's not look at a scriptural definition of perfect and confuse it with a worldly definition of perfect. Because your friends and your family will look at you, especially during these times, and say, everything ain't wicked. Ain't nobody perfect. There ain't one person perfect. That's Jesus. Okay, well, we read that Abraham was perfect. We read that Enoch was perfect. Now you just read
that Noah was perfect, and Noah was
perfect in his generations. And now you read that Dawid was perfect, and we know that Dawid made mistakes. So perfection according to scripture don't mean that you don't make a mistake.
You ain't gonna make a mistake.
It means that you acknowledge, repent, and move forward.
It's the spirit in which you do it. So we have two kings. We see two kings making mistakes. We see Saul make mistakes. We see David make mistakes. One king made a mistake, and it was all about vain reasoning, blaming somebody else.
It wasn't a mistake in it.
Coming up, right? You know what I'm saying? Coming up. Oh, don't you know how we have this thing as humans that we do when we know we get ready to do something wrong? We say, well, if we get caught, I got this to say. This is my backup. This is what I'm gonna say. You practicing in your head. You're like, okay.
We don't say it out loud, but we all we all have that.
You know what I'm saying? It's that mind state versus I knew it. Yeah, I stole the bag of chips. Forgive me. I was weak. I was hungry. I was weak. I gave in to my flesh.
I'm not gonna do it again.
I'm not gonna do it again. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Completely different spirit.
Completely different spirit. One Abiyah couldn't stand, and one Abiyah called her.
Yeah, you read about it in Proverbs. A proud look, a haughty tongue, all that stuff. You know, boastfulness. Somebody that is not able to submit. We talk about the difference between the wheat and the tares, right? And how the tares at the time of the harvest still look straight up and down, erected. They don't bend over. Whereas the wheat bends over. It's almost a picture of the act of submission. And to not be able to submit to righteousness is what Yah says he don't care for. To submit to righteousness will make us perfect. We're working on becoming perfect.
Yep, accountability.
Accountability. Okay.
Take accountability. Take accountability for what you did.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For what you did. Take accountability.
Yep.
Okay.
It's good. Sorry.
We're 27? 27? Okay.
Yeah.
With the clean, you show yourself clean. And with the crooked, you show yourself twisted. For you say, well, okay.
Same when you heard that one. That time was something we've been talking about. Yeah. Even with the lovingly committed ones, you show yourself lovingly committed. With the clean, you show yourself clean. With the crooked, you show yourself twisted. That's Yah. He's still talking about Yah the whole time. Yeah, I'm gonna give you what you present, right? I'm gonna give you what you deserve. I got a reward for everybody.
I ain't never seen a man of the cloth not be able to open up this book and prove his point. You know what I'm saying? Like how they twist the would a man rob God for the offering time.
Good.
They always read the same scripture, but if you look, like say you get the Eastward app. And you look at it, and when you open that paragraph of scriptures, it says Abiyah's message to the priests. Talking to the pastors, was asking the pastors, will you rob me? Because it was the pastors that was robbing them.
Absolutely. In tithes and offering.
In tithes and offering.
Priests.
Right. Eli, that like to get the good, big, thick, the best choice of meat with the fat and blood still on.
The picture. That was the picture. Eli and his sons.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
But you're okay. No. Okay. All right. For you save the humble people, but your eyes are on the haughty to bring them low. For you are a lamp, O Yahuwah, and Yahuwah makes my darkness light. For with you I run against a band. With my power I leap over a wall. He ain't lying. He ain't just exaggerating. With my power, his way is perfect. I mean, the power, his way is perfect. The word of Yahuwah is proven. He is a shield, and to all who take refuge in him.
He is a shield to all those who take refuge in him.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah.
For he is power. For who is power besides Yahuwah?
Mm-hmm.
And who is a rock besides our power?
Mm.
Power is my mighty stronghold,
Mm-hmm.
and he makes my way perfect, making my feet like the feet of a deer.
Mm.
And he sets me on my high place, teaching my hands for battle, so that my arms bend a bow of bronze.
Mm.
And you give me the shield of your deliverance, and your lowliness makes me great.
Mm.
You enlarge my steps under me, so that my feet shall not slip. I pursue my enemy, and I destroy them. And I do not turn back till they are destroyed. And I destroy them, and I crush them, so that they do not rise again. And they fall under my feet, and all fall under my feet. And you gird me with strength for battle. You cause my adversaries to bow under me. You make my enemies turn their backs. Those hating me, and I cut them off. They look, but there is no Savior unto Yahuwah, but he shall not answer them. And I beat them as dust of the earth. I beat them small as dirt in the streets. I spread them out.
Go.
And you deliver me from the strivings of my people. You safeguard me in the head of the nations. A people I have not known serve me. Sons of the foreigner submit to me. And as soon as they hear, they obey me. Sons of the foreigner fade away and gird themselves from their stronghold. Yahuwah lives, and blessed is my rock, and exalted is my power, the rock of my deliverance. Power who avenges me, and bringing people down under me, and bringing me out from my enemies. You raise me up above those rising up against me. You deliver me from a man of violence. Therefore I give thanks to you, O Yahuwah, among nations, and I sing praise to your name. A tower of deliverance is he to his sovereign, and showing love and commitment to his anointed, to Dawid and his seed forever.
This sounds like it's written in Dawid's aging stages as he's looking at what Yahuwah has done, because some of the stuff that he's writing about here is stuff that we haven't quite read about yet, because he's talking about nations. Now he's talking about stuff that we read happens to Shlomo later on, happening to him already.
Yeah.
At this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
He's talking about his seed forever. So he just went through the lineage of his seed, because he that prophet. So he get that prophet. Like when that man going to writing these songs, and that man going to his zone, man. He like once you read Psalms, you'll know like he spoke of things that he couldn't have known. He spoke of things that didn't happen to 2004. You know what I'm saying? Like he saw things, you know.
Okay. Chapter 23. We still going on the mic, right, fam? Do we have this thing figured out? This 2 weeks in a row now that we got the mics opposite side of each other. 6?
7, 6.
Okay. All right. Hallelujah. And these are the last words of Dawid. The saying of Dawid, son of Jesse, or Yeshai. The saying of the man raised above, the anointed of the power of Jacob, and the sweet singer of Israel. Y'all don't forget, Dawid was a singer, a harpist.
He had a voice too. That boy could blow.
He was a creative.
He was,
but also go into that mode.
Yeah, could you imagine that kind of individual?
Yeah.
You know, like the beautiful things in life, but could also like slit a man's throat just as easily.
The spirit of Yahuwah has spoken through me. This is Dawid. And his word is on my tongue. The power of Israel said, the rock of Israel spoke to me. One who rules over man righteously, who rules in the fear of Yahuwah, is like the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without clouds, tender grass from the earth, from sunshine to rain. For is not my house so with power? For he has made an everlasting covenant with me, ordered in all matters and guarded. For all my deliverance and all desire, shall he not make it send forth a branch? But the worthless are all as thorns and thrust away. For they are not taken with hands, but the man who touches them uses iron or the shaft or a spear, and with fire they are burned up in their place. This is a reference to the lake of fire. Like, that's what we do with worthless things. You take something metal, cut it down, throw it in a pile in the yard, and burn it up.
What you do? The brambles and the weeds and the useless growth. It's useless. I have no need for it.
Okay. And with fire they are burned up in their place. These are the names of the mighty men whom David had: Yosheb, Bashabeth, the Thachimonite, chief among
Tachymonites,
total. Chief among the officers. He was Adino, the Estinite, for 800 slain at one time.
Wow.
And after him was Eleazar, son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the three mighty men with David, when they taunted the Philistines who were gathered there for the battle, and the men of Israel had gone up. These Philistines was known to have them Nephilim goons with them, and these three thought they could handle them by themselves.
But when the scripture used mighty man, that was a man he had some kind of ability. So like, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? Like maybe he threw fire. I mean, you just never know. When they use mighty man, there was something to him.
Yeah, these were people that Yahuwah endowed with his spirit, with a measure of his ruach in some way that caused them to be able to run
extraordinary
to be able to run with them Nephilim. Another, when I say run with, I don't mean physically run with. I mean they could hang with them in battle. Like again, go and I'll probably do that one too. Jasher. Go read Jasher and read about the patriarchs.
Oh yeah, those was mighty men.
The patriarchs, each of them individually would have been known to be like mighty men.
A mighty man. Yeah.
Them by themselves could hang with some of them Nephilim, and if they got knocked down, one of their brothers was right around the corner
behind them
to jump on them.
Yep.
Like these men leapt on walls, ran with animals, overtook animals easily. Elijah also.
Judah, they say Judah would, like, if he got angry and he roared, he would cause people would have heart attacks. You know, so they say he would cause the street to shake to the point where like people would have heart attacks just from him like saying, you know, and they would just.
You think of people referencing the conquering lion. Judah's roar shook nations when they stood outside of kingdoms and said, "Let me in."
The Hulk, that character came from Judah.
Came from Judah all day.
Like
all day.
Like, you know, a Jewish person wrote the Hulk. Yeah. That character came from Judah.
Naphtali, fast on his feet. Absolutely. 100%.
Yep.
These and with the 12 patriarchs being mighty men, it's only natural that through their lineage you would have other mighty men. And that means even today, if we could get our young brothers and sisters to realize as they consider themselves to be something in the streets, hard soldiers in the streets, that their lineage is of something that is also hard and is also a soldier, but it's much deeper than just, being hard in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
It's much deeper than that and much greater than that as well. I think we would have a hold because those are soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, what wouldn't he say? The children are our future, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the future of our nation.
But isn't that why the adversary has invested so much into keeping them asleep, keeping them drugged, keeping them unclean,
Absolutely.
keeping them focused on?
Absolutely.
Remember, Balaam told them, if you want to stop Judah, you got to put a big booty and a bottle in his hand.
Yep.
A big booty and a bottle in his hand. And to this very day, that's what they use to keep the sons of Judah distracted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you go in the hood, you could throw a rock to a big booty poster, or I'm not kidding you. I seen a poster. I seen a poster for the tax people, H&R Block with a big booty on there. And I'm like, what do the big booty got to do with taxes? But they made it work. She was like, I got my taxes done and got my booty, like, as if to say, I'm just saying, like, we had to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? She got her taxes done, then she got her booty done. And that was the sign over there in the hood. I said, my goodness. My good. And then you just, so what do our men do? With the bottle in their hand, they look at that booty and they think,
Get your taxes done and get you some barbecue at the same place.
And get your feet done.
And get your feet done.
Here's a tax place, a barbecue place, and they do feet.
We're gonna do your taxes, do your feet, and cook you some barbecue.
Cook you some barbecue.
Ribs, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Hebrews, we got to stop. We got to stop, and then we got to drag our people into the light, out of the darkness into the light, because that's what they're scared of. They're scared of us operating in the light, because
this could happen if they wake up.
A bunch of Dawids and Jacobs and
what's his name?
Babshit,
Yoshababs.
Yep, Eleazar's and all that.
And Eliezer, son of Dodo.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, when they taunted the Philistines who were gathered for battle, and the men of Israel had gone up. Verse 10. And he rose and struck the Philistines until his hands was weary. Well, I'm gonna whoop you until I get tired. My father used to threaten me about that. Say we gonna see who get tired first. Your ass on my belt.
Come from your daddy. His daddy is the picture of Judah. Like,
we gonna see what way out first. My belt.
If I imagine the way Judah looked, it'd be like his father.
Oh my goodness.
That'd scare the hell out of me.
Yes. Scared straight?
Yeah, I
bet.
I bet.
Excuse my profanity, anybody that's offended. Yeah, and so that's what Dawid and them did. They say they whooped them till they got tired. We're gonna go until I get tired, not you. But his hand clung to the sword still. So Yahuwah brought about a great deliverance that day. And the people returned after him only to plunder. My grandmother just texted me and said she still watched the videos every day. You know I'm not lying. You know your son.
No, Grady.
He has said this before.
Grady.
Yes.
We ain't lying.
Okay. And the Philistines had gathered into a company where there was a plot of ground covered with lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he took his stand in the middle of the field and delivered it, and struck the Philistines. And Yahuwah wrought a great deliverance. And 3 of the 30 chief men went down at harvest time and came to Dawid at the cave of Adullam, while the army of the Philistines encamped in the valley of the Rephaim. And Dawid was then in the stronghold, while a watchpost of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And Dawid longed and said, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." And the 3 mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines and drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to Dawid, but he would not drink it, but poured it out to Yahuwah. And he said, "Far be it from me, O Yahuwah, to do this, the blood of the men who went at risk to their lives, so he would not drink it.
So you know how? Let me show you what this look like. You know how people be like, you know, you just out there chilling with your boy. It's hot. They in the cave. You know what I'm saying? Water probably ain't good. He probably said something like, "Man, boy, I love to have some of that crisp water from Bethlehem right now." But but I'm gonna do with what I'm doing with this. You know what I'm saying? And his men always wanting to please him.
Yeah.
They went and got him the water, and he like, "Man, I didn't want you to risk your life to get this water."
The people love Dawid.
They loved that.
The people love Dawid. Dawid was the people's champ. Like y'all hear people use that phrase. Dawid was the people's champ.
Mm-hmm.
He was for the people. He ruled in the way that Yahuwah said was a righteous rule, and it was a harsh rule, as in he didn't take no stuff, but at the same time it was righteous and it was loving. He wasn't hard on them like the scribes and the Pharisees, but he was thorough, as in, no, you're not gonna do this in my kingdom, right?
You got to be like that when dealing with the people sometimes,
Yep. Verse 18. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, son of Zuriah, was chief of another 3. And he lifted his spear against 300 men, whom he slew, and had a name among these 3. Was he not the most esteemed of 3? And he became their commander, but he did not come to the first 3. And this is Benaiah, but Benaiah was the son of Jehoiada, son of a brave man of Kabzeel, great in deeds. He struck 2 lion-like men of Moab.
Two men that was
2 lion-like men of Moab.
Strange stuff going on. They was some kind of splice. So they was men, but they looked like lions.
May have been big as lions. May have had teeth like lions. May have been mixed with lions. Because again, this mixing was still going on. Mixing with the Melachim and mankind and Melachim and animals. This was all still going on. So these lion-like, Salakia for that reading, but these 2 lion-like men of Moab, Benaiah struck. And he went down and struck a lion also in the midst of a pit on a snowy day. And he struck a Mitzrayim, an Egyptian, an impressive man. And the Mitzrayim had a spear in his hand, so he went down to him with a staff and wrestled the spear out of the hand of the Egyptian's hand and killed him with his own spear.
Now, if they mentioned this Egyptian probably was like some kind of mystic warrior. So,
yes, sir.
Think about, what's this? We was just think about, like, come on, help me with the little movies y'all be watching. Look goofy.
No, I always think of Xerxes.
Yeah,
I always think of Xerxes.
Yeah,
these were men who regular humans would consider gods.
They would.
These were men who regular humans outside of Israelites would consider gods and would treat like gods and lift up and put on their pedestals, and therefore would have them at the head of their nations and at the head of their armies. And the Scorpion King came. Yeah, they would go out at the head of their armies, and so this is who Dawid and his men had to face.
Yeah.
And that's why Dawid, as Ima asked about, that's why Dawid was lifted up like a mighty man. And he was considered like the men of old, men of renown, because he was lifted up in order to be able to go toe to toe with these people. And now you're reading about his crew. And his crew was lifted up and able to go toe to toe with them people as well. Why should we? Don't put your hand down, sis. I want you to come to the mic.
Yeah, she one of the ones that will put her hand down.
Why would we then operate in a spirit of fear just because your current nations, soldiers, government have things that they put in place? Why do you think they're putting super soldiers in place? Why do you think they're coming up with exoskeletons? Why do you think they're trying to inject their soldiers and train their soldiers to be able to handle, what? What do you think? Like, you don't need that
The space army.
to go to war with mere men.
Yep.
You only need that if your fear is that these people will
Yep.
be resurrected back to prominence,
Yep.
and you know that you may not be able to do nothing with them.
Yep.
And that's the message that we need to be telling our youth.
Yep.
Like, you are who they fear, and this is why. Let me show you.
Mhm.
Sit down. Don't be scared of these words. Let's read,
Yep.
young person.
And
Let me show you why they don't want you to read this.
according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Scripture say the bruise be given to them so hard that the angels, the fallen angels, had to come and help them.
Okay.
You
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. Coach C. Leslie.
Hi. Okay, I'm unmuted. I had a question. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw 300, but I was wondering. So in 300, Xerxes was a giant, like a huge, huge person, and I was wondering if there might be any truth to that. If you knew, if he was like part of the Nephilim.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, you know, he was the one that Esther had to marry.
Yep. You read about him. You read about Xerxes, Artaxerxes, and all of those. These are those were the Persians, first of all. And we were just talking about, and Rib reminded me, helped me remember that the Persians were descendants of Keturah's offspring.
Keturah's boys.
Right? Mm-hmm. But of course, again, they were mixing in with those Nephilim. And so we read about Esther being knock-kneed afraid of Xerxes. Xerxes took women of several nations, and he was bringing them to marry him. And there was a process they had to go through, cleansing and all of that. But we don't read that Esther actually slept with him. But Esther was afraid of him. Esther did wind up finding favor with him. There's another one. We could throw her in with Daniel and Joseph and them. Esther did find favor with him. And because of the favor that she found with him and the counsel of Mordecai, her uncle, he did spare the Jews of that time because of Esther. She helped deliver her people because who was it? Haman?
No, you what's his face? Begin with a T.
That didn't like Mordecai.
He didn't like Mordecai.
So yeah, this brother was trying to get Israel wiped off the map, like specifically Judah, because at this time so we have to remember Israel had already been scattered during the Assyrian captivity. Judah was under the occupation of the Persians, and Haman, like He-Man. I'm probably butchering that name.
He-Man was a magician. Because it says Haman. He-Man was the magician.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was petitioning, and he had a good standing with Xerxes as well. He was part of the inner court. He was petitioning Xerxes, saying this. And I need y'all to remember this, because this is how we are viewed by any establishment who we don't fall in line with. If they are not friends of Judah and Israel, they view us as troublesome. They view us as terrorists. They view us as problematic for the ruling faction, because we don't just go along to get along and just worship how they worship. We have our own separate days. All throughout history, look at the writings of the historians. You had people who allowed us to continue to worship the way we worship, and you had some that people said they always trouble. They ain't just like they doing something different, and it made them feel less than. And so that's what this guy was doing. And he went to Xerxes, and Xerxes was getting ready to write the letter to all of the surrounding places to go ahead and kill the Jews. And she petitioned him. He did love her, and they spared the Jews and wound up doing to Haman what Haman wanted
the hole,
to be done to Mordecai.
The hole he dug for them is the hole he 100%. Fell in.
But yes, when we read that, it does read like Xerxes more than likely had the blood of Nephilim running through his veins. She was terrified of Xerxes. Yeah. Yeah, read through that again, sis. I think that will, if you read that and kind of think about what they showed you in 300, it kind of matches, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Where did I leave off? 23, right? 23. And 23 and 23.
23 and 23.
Okay. We're talking about Benaiah again, Beniyahu. He was more esteemed than the 30, but he did not come to the first three. So in other words, they're telling you these three that rode with Dawid. So now you got Dawid's nephew, cold-blooded, but he didn't compare to the three that rode with Dawid. Now you're talking about Benaiah again. They say he didn't compare to those first three. And Dawid set him over his guard. And Ashael, the brother of Joab, was one of 30. Elhanan, son of Dodo, of Bethlehem. Shema, the Harodite. Elikah, the Harodite. Heletz, the Palatite. Ira, son of Ikesh, the Tiwite. Abizer, the Anathonite. Anethothite. Mebunai, the Hushite. Salmon, the Ahorite. Mahari, the Netopite. Forgive me for butchering this, fam. Heleb, son of Benaiah, the Netopathite. Ittai, the Ribite, son of Ribai, from Gibah, of the children of Benjamin. Benayahu, the Piriathite. Hedad, from the Wadis of Gaash. Abi Albon, the Arbathite. Azmareth, the Barhumite. Eliabah, the Sha'albanite, of the sons of Yashin, Yehonathan, Shamash, the Harite. Ayam, son of Shar, the Harite. Eliaphat, I'm trying, fam. Son of Abishai, son of Ma'akathai. Eliam, son of Ahithophel, the Gileonite. Hetzarai, the Carmelite. Pa'ari, son of Arbai, Parari, the Arbite. Yigal, son of Nathan, of Zobah. Benai, the Gadite. Zelek, the Ammonite. Nahari, the Beriothite. Armor bearer of Joab, son of Zuriah. Ira, the Yerithite. Gareb, the Yeriite. And Uriah, the Hittite. 37 in all. I bet you wish you could have read that.
No, sir. I'm glad. I was thinking to myself, I'm glad that was him. Yeah, not me, bro.
Ooh, Salakia, fam. I tried. Okay.
Hey.
Chapter 24. Oh, wow. Hallelujah.
12 and 13, huh?
Okay.
Okay. All right. And again, the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Israel and moved Dawid against them to say, go number Israel and Yehudah. And the sovereign said to Joab, the commander of the army who was with him, go please throughout all the tribes of Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, and register the people so that I know the number of the people.
Pause right there for a second. Fam, as we get ready to move into the book of Kings, there's two things I want y'all to remember because y'all going to hear it often. Is that a sneeze?
Was that whiskey?
Yeah.
Did he just human sneeze?
No. Okay. I want y'all to remember this because you're going to hear it often. And again, the displeasure of Yahuwah burns against Israel. Okay. The other one we're going to hear is, and this one did worse than his fathers before him. Right. If you can just pay attention to the things that are going on when we hear and read that, you will begin to see that the patterns that our people fell into back then are the same patterns that we fall into now. And you're going to have to just start shaking your head and saying, my people, we're doing the same thing we did.
We're doing the same thing.
And at some point, we got to see that in order to repent from it. You got to be able to recognize it.
We woke up the same way we went to sleep.
Yeah, it's a pattern. It's a pattern.
Mm.
So right before we go into Kings, here we go.
Yep.
And again, the displeasure of Yahuwah burn against Israel.
So Dawid numbered the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joab said to the sovereign, even if Yahuwah, your power, does add to the people 100-fold more than there are, and the eyes of my master the sovereign see it, but why does my master the sovereign delight in this matter? However, the sovereign's words were strong towards Joab and against the commander of his army. And Joab and the commander of the army went out from the presence of the sovereign to register the people of Israel. You know what happened?
Mm.
He questioned Dawid, and Dawid said something like, "'Cause I said so, go to yada." He went on and took care of that business.
I went on and did it.
I went on and did. And they passed over the Yarden and camped in Aurora on the right side of the town, which is in the midst of the Wadi of God, and toward Yazir. Then they came to Gilead and to the land of Tatim, Hodish, and they came to Dan, Ya'an, and around to Zidon. And they came to the stronghold of Zor, and to all the cities of the Huites and the Canaanites, and went out south to Yehuda as far as Beersheba. And when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of 9 new moons and 20 days.
9 months.
And Joab gave the number of the registration of the people to the sovereign. And there were in Israel 800,000 brave men who drew the sword, and the men of the Yehuda were 500,000 men.
Mm.
And the heart of Dawid was struck, and the heart of Dawid struck him after he had numbered the people.
Mm.
And Dawid said to Yahuwah, I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But now I pray, O Yahuwah, take away the crookedness of your servant, for I have done very foolishly.
Mm.
And Dawid rose up in the morning, and the word of Yahuwah came to the prophet Gad, Dawid's seer, saying, Go, and you shall speak to Dawid. Thus says Yahuwah, I hold 3 options before you. Choose one of them, and I do it to you.
Mm.
You know, I did nothing upset Yahuwah more than numbering the people.
So what's the word for numbering the people, y'all?
Census.
Census.
Censors.
Take a census.
Yeah,
Yep.
take a census.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe, based on what we read, that we are supposed to take part in the census. They still trying to number us. They want to know how many we are and where we at.
I think it was a prideful thing for the kings.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a prideful thing to be like, you know, my kingdom is so big and my kingdom is so large or whatever may have you. You know, Koti Anaya.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom.
Doesn't 24 and 1 say that the Most High made him number them? Why is he angry? Why are you angry?
Well, it say that the Most High was displeased with them, something they had did, and he allowed Dawid to be so okay. Remember the story with Balaam and how, you know what I'm saying, the Most High allowed Balaam to give into his want, which was to go and curse the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So the Most High got displeased with the people. That's Dawid too. He the leader of the people.
Mm-hmm.
And so he allowed Dawid to do something that he was going to be punished for. Meaning, how does he allow this? Meaning, you get the urge to do something, but you hear that voice telling you, no, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't hear that voice.
And if you read it carefully, it says, and again, the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Israel, and moved Dawid against them to say, go number Israel. So, yes, Dawid was moved by Yah, but it was a move against Israel, right?
Yeah.
For whatever had happened that, again, as Rib said, Yah was displeased with. And so this was the king being held accountable for the people at this time.
Yeah, Dawid included in that number.
Yep.
So whatever had happened, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, we read in the law way back when, if y'all remember, you go back to our reading, that we're not supposed to number the people. And anytime we did number the people, Levi was excluded. Levi would have been excluded. Sometimes Benjamin would have been excluded. Sometimes they would have numbered the men of age, meaning 21 and older. Did it say 21? Yeah, because that was the age. Men of age for battle. And so by doing that, we weren't numbering all of Israel. There may have been a time for that. But to number all the people, according to the law, was a no-no.
I mean, I didn't like,
For whatever reason, y'all said, don't do that.
Now, didn't Dawid do that once before and got in trouble?
This is no. During Aharon's time, they did that.
Oh, Moses them did it.
During Moses' time,
Yeah.
they did it. Yep.
He got in trouble.
Absolutely.
You know
And
what this sounds like to me? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sleeka. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sis.
This sounds like, you know how like the Most High is setting up the nations to be punished? Like we're in captivity, right? And they did all this stuff they're not supposed to. He gave us into their hand, but they still did some stuff they weren't supposed to do. So it sounds like he moved on Dawid to be able to punish the people. Am I making sense? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is something we don't read exactly what was going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
We just read that Yah was upset against Israel, all Israel, and he allowed Dawid. Now Dawid know the law.
Mm-hmm. Dawid know he wasn't supposed to do that.
But Yahuwah allowed Dawid to be moved to do what he knew he wasn't supposed to do.
So when
thereby punish everybody from the head down.
When it says stuff like that, so like I be trying to put it in like real like what that would look like real world.
Mm-hmm.
So like think about Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying? When it said that the Most High, hardened Pharaoh's heart, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you have the devil's demons ain't the only ones who whisper to you. You know what I'm saying? You have angels, Malachines who whisper to you too. Now remember, we learned that their angels could lie to you. Remember the angel that went down and lied to Shaul, you know what I'm saying? And so once Abiyah get a displeasure, or you know what I'm saying, and he may send an angel to, but you always have choice. He don't never take your choice away.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And so even though you may have an angel who come down and suggest number the people. You know what I'm saying? Because now Abiyah is upset with you. So now this angel is giving you some advice that's gonna get you, and you're gonna be punished. You know what I'm saying? You still have a choice of like, the last time the people was numbered, the Most High didn't take kindly to that. And then maybe then Abiyah won't be angry with you if you did respond like that, but he didn't. He numbered the people. You know what I'm saying? So I like this how they look. So Pharaoh, when the Most High said he hardened Pharaoh's heart, you know what I'm saying? That was where you got the devil in one ear probably saying, man, let him go, because if you don't let him go, your kingdom gonna get destroyed. Yeah. But Abiyah said it's time for this kingdom to get destroyed. So now you got another angel in his ear saying, don't let him go.
Look at it big picture wise like that also, because there was something that Yah needed to do with with Egypt, which is why he continued to harden Pharaoh's heart, because Yah needed to do something and show something. Mm-hmm. So in that same way, whatever was going on here, Yah needed to do something and show something, right? And so he allowed Dawid to do something that he knew once Dawid did this, I'm gonna listen. Here go your options. Yeah. I'm gonna lay the choice at your feet.
And if that angel at your ear giving you bad advice, I mean, you did something. It's time for you to be punished. And so I'm going to advise you into this punishment. You're going to get your head busted. Mm. You know what I'm saying? It's time. I mean, but you still got a choice. But, rarely do we make the right choices when it's time for punishment anyway, you
Right.
know.
Toe dog.
Absolutely, sis. Okay, where you at?
I'm finished. That's
Oh, you
12.
read all the way to 12?
Yeah. Yeah, he said go
Oh,
speak
okay.
slow, you get the turn.
All right. Gad then came to Dawid and informed him, and he said to him, should 7 years of scarcity of food come to you in your land, or would you flee 3 new moons, meaning 3 months, before your enemies while they pursue you? Or should there be 3 days plague in your land? Now, know and see what answer I take back to him who sent me. So you got 7 years scarcity of food, 3 months you run from your enemies, or 3 days plague. That's a rough option.
That's a rough option.
So let's see what Dawid chooses. And Dawid said to Gad, I am in great trouble. Please let us fall into the hand of Yahuwah, for his compassion is great, but do not let me fall into the hands of man. Right? So fleeing 3 months from your enemies, I don't want that.
And he got old. He can't move the way he used
Yeah.
to.
Y'all may have compassion on me after a certain time, right? So he says, and Yahuwah sent a plague upon Israel from morning till the appointed time. And from Dan to Beersheba, 70,000 men of the people died.
Dang.
And the messenger stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it. What happened now?
The messenger.
The messenger. This is a destroying Malachim. This is an agent of Yah.
This ain't the devil.
Whose job is to slay.
Yeah.
We got to understand that Yah got these kind of Malachim on his payroll as well.
Do.
Right?
Yes, you do.
And so when we running around here being fearful of things that go bump in the night, I would never fear, not knowing what I know now, I would never fear things that go bump in the night, understanding Abba Yah and his power and his Malachim and who we are.
A warrior,
and my obedience. Dang.
Ain't nothing to compare. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the devil, like we make this, we have this image of the devil, like, oh, the devil's this big spooky, you know what I'm saying? But he answers to the Most High. So it's like, if the Most High created the devil, what else has he created?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop playing. Okay. So the messenger stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it, and Yahuwah relented concerning the evil and said to the messenger who was destroying the people, it is enough. Now, stop your hand. And the messenger of Yahuwah was by the threshing floor of Arnah, the Jebusite. And Dawid spoke to Yahuwah. Can you imagine? Like, this destruction is, and it stops at your door just before it comes to your threshing floor.
Man,
hair was probably great.
Man,
after being black coming. The day before.
Like, where is it? Is it okay? It's in the town of who? How many died? Oh my goodness, here it come.
And Dawid spoke to Yahuwah when he saw the messenger who was striking the people. Dawid saw the messenger.
He saw it.
And said, see, I have sinned and I have done perversely. But these sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, be against me and my father's house. And Gad came that day to Dawid and said to him, go up, raise a slaughter place to Yahuwah on the threshing floor of Arnah, the Jebusite. And Dawid, according to the word of Gad, went up as Yahuwah commanded. And Arnah looked and saw the sovereign and his servants coming toward him. And Arnah went out and bowed himself and bowed before the sovereign with his face to the ground. And Arnah said, why has my master, the sovereign, come to his servant? And Dawid said, to buy the threshing floor from you, to build a slaughter place to Yahuwah, so that the plague be withdrawn from the people. And Arnah said to Dawid, let my master, the sovereign, take and offer what that which seems good to him. Here are the cattle for the ascending offering, and the threshing implements, and the yokes of the cattle for wood. All these, O sovereign, Arna has given to the sovereign. And Arna said to the sovereign, Yahuwah, your Elohim, accept you. And the sovereign said to Arna, no, let me buy it from you for a price, for certain. I am not offering ascending offerings to Yahuwah, my power, without cost. So Dawid bought the threshing floor at the cattle for 50 shekels of silver. And Dawid built a slaughter place to Yahuwah there and offered ascending offerings and peace offerings. And Yahuwah answered the prayers for the land, and the plague was withdrawn from Israel. Listen, I want to go back real quick. This says, y'all know how we say that prayer, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And the Hebrew reads, as it is in heaven, so on earth. The thought there and the understanding there is that things happen on the spiritual or in the spiritual first, and then they happen in the physical. Dawid saw it stop in the spiritual. Dawid saw the Melachim in the spiritual and prayed for intercession on the physical, and Yah told him what to do in order to stop it on the physical. We read that Yahuwah relented before he relented. We read that Yahuwah relented. Then we see Dawid intercede, and then Yah tells Dawid what to do for him to stop it in the physical. It was a 3-part process.
And what's the odds that Dawid do something? He sins, he upsets Abiyah. And what's the odds that Dawid is led to number the people, and then once he found out the number, Abiyah killed 70,000 people? What's the odds that, like, knowing that was the sin that was the punishment he was gonna choose?
Yep. No odds.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And then he went through after he numbered the people and took out 70 something thousand of them.
Dang. Gad was a man of Yah at that time, and it looks like he came from Gad. I'm looking at your question.
He said the Wadi, which was in the midst of the Wadi of Gad. So was Gad the land of Gad? Was the Wadi in the land of Gad?
So when it says this town which is in the midst of the Wadi of Gad, yes, that place Gad was named for Gad.
Gad, Gad, one of the patriarchs.
Yes, the tribe.
Okay,
and
right,
one of the patriarchs.
right.
Absolutely. But this man of Yah, his name was also Gad.
Okay.
So I said, who is Gad? So this was a man of Yah at that time whose name was Gad. Yes, it reads like he was a prophet because he was bringing word to Dawid directly from Yah.
Yeah, it say it came from the prophet Gad, Dawid's seer. So he was Dawid's seer.
Okay.
Or he would have called him what do they call these seers? Advisor,
counselor. Okay. So this was who was bringing word from Yah to Dawid and who was taking word to Yah from Dawid. But yeah, so Dawid sees, and that's all I was really catching my attention. He sees the messenger, and goes to Yah and says, I have sinned and I've done perversely, but these sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, be against me and my father's house. And then Gad came to Dawid and said, look, this is what you do.
I got a theory, and this is just a theory. Because this began by saying that Abiyah's displeasure burnt against Israel. But here Dawid saying he sinned, so why was Abiyah taking the punishment out on Israel, which he called sheep? And so my theory is this. We know that Dawid getting up in age. Is Dawid still able to rule the people with such a strong hand as he had in his youth? Because you remember, like, it was said that, like, if you even was caught,
is he letting the people get out of hand?
Yes, he letting the people get out of hand.
And that's what Abiyah was upset about. It's possible. We don't read that, but it's possible. Yep.
I say so. We would have bring the word or message from the spiritual side, so that his he responded appropriately in the physical.
So he would have brought the word or the message from the spiritual side so that he responded. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
He saw it in the spiritual world first.
Yeah.
And then that's what he was advised to do, what he did to stop this messenger from coming. Because it reads as if the messenger may have stopped first, but this all could have happened at once. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So did the messenger stop because Dawid had set up this altar? And so he going through doing his thing, but he gets to this altar, sees the altar of Abiyah, and that stopped him because that's the altar of Abiyah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to read it again. I'm going to start from 16. It says, and the messenger stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it. And Yahuwah relented concerning the evil. Let me go back. Let me go back to
15.
15, yeah, Torah. And Yahuwah sent a plague upon Israel from the morning till the appointed time. And from Dan to Beersheba, 70,000 men of the people died. That's the overview as I read it, right? And the messenger stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it. And Yahuwah relented concerning the evil and said to the messenger who was destroying the people, it is enough. Now stop your hand. Again, overview. And the messenger of Yahuwah was by the threshing floor of Arnah the Jebusite. And as he's at the threshing floor, Dawid spoke to Yahuwah, and he saw the messenger and asked Yahuwah to relent. And after he speaks to Yahuwah concerning this, Yahuwah sends Gad the same day, it said, to Dawid and said to him, go up and raise a slaughter place to Yahuwah at the threshing floor of that same individual. So it is that threshing floor at that individual's house that causes that messenger to stop. Mm-hmm. As it is more than likely, as I'm reading this, and maybe I'm wrong, that altar that Dawid builds at the direction of Yahuwah by the word of this prophet Gad that causes that Melachim to stop. He tells the Melachim to stop previously to us reading that. But this is where he stops, exactly where Dawid goes to build that threshing, that altar.
Is either that or giving thanks that Abiyah stopped there. Yep. Is he, that altar was built either for that or to give thanks that as a remembrance that this is where, because 70,000 people dead in the plague ain't no small fry.
No.
That would have been huge, and that would have been remembered for generations, at least 2 or 3 generations. After that, in the 3rd generation, most things die, most memories die. So, after great grandma go, you know what I'm saying? So that would have been a great big deal at that time. You know what I'm saying? So to build an offering, to build a altar there, came like a sin offering cult. He came to say, this is where he stopped. This is where he showed mercy. You know what I'm saying? It's very powerful.
Read verse 25 for me. That's the only reason I said that.
Okay. And Dawid built a slaughter place to Yahuwah there and offered ascending offerings and peace offerings. Yahuwah answered the prayers from the land, and the plague was well. There you go. Yep. Well, there you go.
That's how it reads to me. Like I said, I may be wrong, but that's how it reads to me.
Yep.
Family, did y'all see what Arnah did when he encountered Dawid?
Oh yeah.
We talk about Dawid being a mighty man, right? My man bowed down to Dawid with reverence.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. We're going to get into that with the next book, y'all. Because these kings were supposed to be rulers, physical placeholders for Yahuwah. They were supposed to be in a righteous state doing what Yahuwah wants them to do right there on earth.
Yeah,
So
pretty
that
much.
so the Israel could be looked at in the same way among the nations.
It was no king like Dawid though.
Yep.
Like you really understand when the Most High say that Dawid gonna rule his kingdom to come, that Dawid gonna be the king of that kingdom. You could really understand why he would be, because there was no king like Dawid.
Hey. Dang, not completion. Hallelujah. We did it. Everybody give yourselves a pat on the back. We made it. One more book in the records.
Hey, hallelujah.
One more book in the records.
Hallelujah. So y'all finna go through the this hell when is the
Monday.
Y'all just be careful, you know what I'm saying? The
Be careful on the roads.
that Christmas spirit is legit.
Yep.
And those who in the truth, it ain't your friend.
Nope.
And it get on people. Like I've seen, like I don't never see fighting in the parking lot like around Christmas time. Like you want to like Walmart and people was like out there just boxing, but y'all just be careful out there. We living in the dark times.
Like I said, be careful on the roads. Be careful day after Christmas when everybody back there in there returning they stuff and exchanging it. Don't get in their way.
Demons are busy.
They be like a mob sometimes, ravenous.
They whispering to you. They whispering to folks. You know what I'm saying? Gird up, put on a full armor. You know what I'm saying? Pray for extra strength during these times, because
remember Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, because even your family members, go back to the Matrix, even your family members might look away from you and look back and you see a demon on them, right? Remember, it's not your family member, it's the demon. Right. And so
no family.
have a little bit of compassion on family, and be okay with walking away sometimes. Rebuke, walk away sometimes, and come back knowing that demon may have been trying to tempt you. May have been trying to attack you. Hey.
Know when to step back, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to force or cause people to blaspheme the Most High.
Hey.
And so if when you talking to people and you interacting with people, family members, about eating that Christmas ham or whatever may have you, you know what I'm saying? Don't go so hard or so vicious that they say something that they can never be forgiven for. You love them too much, and their life mean more than that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You plant a few seeds, you step back. You know what I mean? What the Messiah say? Dust off your shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
Take the dust off your feet. Listen, my company giving away Christmas hams. And one of the operations people called and said, "Hey, you eat ham?" I said, "No." He said, "Okay. Well, you mind if I give you drivers a ham?" I said, I got one driver I don't think eats ham, but I mean, whoever want a ham, you want to give it to them. That's between them. Again, fam, look, Daniel in Babylon. Daniel in Babylon. We are under their rulership right now. It is not for us at this time to go out and wage war against them in their kingdom.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. But you can abstain and you can step back and you can clearly say, not for me.
It's not for me.
It's not for me, but do you, boo-boo? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stay here and I'm going to eat these veggies.
I ain't going to be wrestling pork chop off nobody.
I'm not going to wrestle that Christmas ham out your...
Good.
Just when you got that brontosaurus burger,
I'm telling you,
like a Flintstone, and you got them bedrock feet running around like a cave man.
Tell us I got what's the gout? Got gout.
I got gout. Yeah,
all that swine you eating and all that.
I may mess around and call a heathen a troglodyte under my breath, thinking they don't know what it means. Sometimes I don't know, but
a Philistine.
A Philistine.
You damn Philistine.
But I'm not finna go out here and wage war against them, because this their kingdom right now.
Ask y'all for understanding when the Messiah told his taught ones to be fishermen of men.
Right.
Ask for understanding of what that means. Right. You know what I'm saying? To be fishermen of men. You don't have to, you don't have to go out here and beat your
chest.
You don't have to go out here and try to beat the truth in everybody you encounter. You know what I'm saying? Fishermen of men means when the Messiah said, "Don't waste your pearls on swine." Listen, You got some people who are in a fallen state, and their fate is sealed. They may not know it, but their fate is sealed. So you wasting you coming at them with pearls. You know what I'm saying? And you wasting pearls on swine. Move on, move around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I say a few things and it tweaks something inside you, you hear knock at your door. The seed is planted.
I'm gonna quote Black folks president. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig.
It's still a pig. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's this, but this is something we had to learn. We had to grow.
Absolutely.
You know, our first year or two.
We're just trying to offer the benefit of,
Yeah.
our years in this
Yeah.
walk. Offer a few jewels, a few cents. I ain't gonna even say jewels. Offer a few cents from our experience.
Remember the fruits of the spirit. And if you ever want to determine whether or not the spirit is on somebody, you test them by the fruits of the spirit.
Okay.
If they are not displaying those fruits, then you are not dealing with the spirit. I don't care what they mouth say. I don't care how fine they speech or how well they pray.
Or how good they attire is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or how long their tassels are.
Yeah.
If their
One
actions
man got on fringes and tassels.
You
got
know
to
what
be
I'm
talking
saying?
right.
If their actions do not display the proof of the spirit, then you are not dealing with the spirit. You are dealing with an imposter.
Okay.
And there are a lot of imposters out here, people.
Coach Kimmy say, even with my fringes on.
Even with my fringes on. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? So y'all keep that in mind while y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any final words, y'all, before we close it out for next week? Full armor, says Kane. Coach Celeste, right on. Go ahead, sis.
I wanted to comment about there's been two instances that I know of in scripture where people have offered something free, and I'm specifically talking about like how the guy tried to offer the threshing floor to Dawid, and he was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pay for this." And the same thing happened with Abraham in Genesis 23 when he was trying to bury his Isha. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna pay for this," and I think that's important in our nation to just like if somebody tries to offer us something, pay for it. I'm aware of a group, they were offered some land and they had started building on it. They start clearing the trees. They start working. They put money into it, right? Because somebody offered it to them. And then come to find out he didn't own it by himself. It was also some of his family members. And they were like, nah, they can't have it. So all that work, all that money was for naught. So I just think it's important for us to, even if somebody wants to give us something, to go ahead and pay for it.
Too.
Sis, I'm gonna add on to what you said because I agree with you 100%. Listen, y'all, we are in a land that is not ours, but even if we was in our own land, but it's governed by a set of laws that we need to understand and abide by, right? If the laws of this land don't conflict with Torah, we need to abide by those laws. And so if you're going to transfer property, it's important that you have a deed of ownership before you try to build on it. I know people will say, well, look at the apostles, and they said they wanted to put everything in and everybody had a community where everybody put in and everything was shared equally. I get that. That was then at that time. We ain't there right now. I'm aware of a group, sis, that I'm aware of more than one group.
Yes.
That's tried to do something like that. And my antennas always go up when that happens. I love my people. Don't get me wrong. I love my people. But if we want to build community together, when people start saying, give me, or let's go in, I'm fine with that if there are contractual terms, right? If you don't do that, like you just said, you run the risk of, even if you're just dealing with bruise, that say they bruise, you're running the risk of things happening where you have disagreements, you no longer agree, believe the same thing, and now who get to say who gotta go? Who get to say who gotta go? Like, if you want to build a community, build it the way everybody else build it. It's nothing. It's no Torah against building it the same way they build it in Little Mexico, or in Chinatown, or in Greek town. How do they do it? Everybody buys some property.
Everybody bought their own land.
And you know what that does? That forces us, Hebrews, Judah, to get your stuff together and come correct. Don't come to the table empty-handed talking about let's all share. Listen, that might not sound good, but I'm just being real with y'all. If we gonna build something, how we building and you ain't bringing no tools to the table?
Yeah.
Don't just come open-handed talking about where we at and what we eat.
It remind me of my days of smoking weed. The Negro that always came and told us what we smoking.
Not a doggone thing.
You ain't brought nothing to the table.
Not a doggone
thing.
thing.
What are we smoking?
Listen, if
you ain't smoking nothing.
If we all bringing something to the table, now we all got skin in the game, right? We got skin in the game. I bought a property over here. You bought a property over there. You bought a property over there. Now we can start talking. Okay, let's put community plan in place. Let's put rules in government for how we want to govern. Let's go and say, incorporate this town.
Yeah.
Now you start building on, okay, when you incorporate that town. Now, there's another brother that said this to me. I was like, you know what, brother, you got a point. Because once you incorporate that town with your people, now you can start applying different rules to your town that you have incorporated with your people.
Like, no garbage cans. You know what I'm saying?
Get picked up on Friday nights or Saturdays.
All that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got the deed to their own land. So if some go down and I decide, tomorrow, you know what? This Hebrew stuff ain't for me. I've decided to become a Buddhist monk. Guess what? You know what I'm saying? I still got my property.
You still got your property.
And I still got to buy under the corporations, because now the guidelines say if I don't abide by these rules, I signed it, I agreed, then I got to put my property up for sale and move on. You know
what else you could do? Hebrews. And I'm not saying this to y'all in the group. I'm saying this to whoever watching on YouTube. You know what else you could do at that point, Hebrews? If you build a community the right way, you could also have schools in your community for your children that don't give you the problems that y'all are talking about and that we've talked about that cause us to have to pull our children out of the school system and in homeschool. Now you got a school in your community ran by Hebrews, taught by Hebrews, closed when they supposed to be closed, celebrating holidays they supposed to be celebrating, doing plays for Passover and doing stuff for atonement and doing stuff for unleavened bread.
You have everything you need in the circle. I grow beans. She grow cattle. They got sheep over there. You got corn over there. We can have a market day where we all come together, either buy, sell, or trade. My little bot do tassels. You know what I'm saying? Somebody over there doing fringes. You know what I mean? And you can have but the thing is,
you could go a step beyond and have even brick and mortar business.
You know,
a marketplace.
Yeah, you can
shopping mall,
invite in
grocery
locals.
Store.
You can invite in the locals, make a little more money. You know what I'm saying? You could, as a group, go. We'd probably look like the Mormons, or is it the Mormons that go to the?
You got the Mormons. You got the Amish. You got. Listen,
Amish,
I'm gonna take it back to what I said before. Chinatown, Little Mexico, Greek town. They don't just have homes in their community.
Dang.
They own the hardware stores. They own the restaurants. They own the little places where they go buy clothing at. They are. What are they doing, family? They are exchanging money within their community first, several times before it ever leaves their community. Why we can't do that? You know why? Because we always talking about where we at.
What we smoking though. You know what I'm saying? They all got deeds to their own land. They all got their own houses. You know what I'm saying?
Land for code. Everything closed for the Shabbat. Can you imagine? Everything closed for the Shabbat.
Can you imagine?
Everybody off for the Shabbat. You ain't got to go to somebody else's boss because it's your business.
But I've seen it
in
done,
your neighborhood.
I've seen it done incorrectly hundreds of thousands of times. First of all, it's always somebody that want to lord themselves over everybody else. And okay, we got this land. Now I'm the king of this land. And I call all the shots on this land. But guess what? You can't call no shots on my land because I got this little 5 acre plot here is mine. So you can't call no shots on my land. You know what I'm saying? But if you come into the table as a business, this is a business deal. You know what I'm saying? Maybe later on you'll vote in a mayor or somebody to, because you're gonna have disputes and you know what I'm saying? But that's all a part of the whatever board you set up, the governing board you set up.
That is part of governing.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just one person. There's a governing board. You know what I'm saying? And I know people are like, well, why we gotta do all that?
There's a judge. This is why you have to read your scriptures from Genesis to Revelations, family, because the way to govern our people, you got the rules right here.
Yep.
You got the rules right here. It's not that we don't govern ourselves, it's that you govern according to Torah. Yep. Right. And so now you got, like you say, a governing board of your local community, wherever that is, until y'all say it's time to go wherever else, and you run it like that. And that's legal. And they have to respect that. Now, I'm not saying that you won't have any problems. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when Bruce gets serious about their walk, I'm gonna just call a spade family. When Bruce gets serious about their walk, that's how Bruce will start moving. When Bruce start taking their walk seriously, that's how Bruce will start moving, because we will say to each other, hey fam, I'm thinking about buying some property, and I want to buy a property where my people at so that I can be in the neighborhood with my people. Who down? I'm thinking about selling this property and buying property where my people at. Who down? And we ain't talking about somebody coming with empty hands. We're talking about, and let me ease that statement. I'm not saying that you should not provide for the fatherless and the widows. Please don't get me wrong. What I'm saying though is, in order to build a strong community, you need strong foundational pieces. You need men that are willing to be men. You need wives that are willing to be wives. And you need people who are willing to abide by Torah, right? And do things right. And not try to slick talk your own people.
Yeah.
Or lord over your own people or anything like that. Somebody tell me where they're doing that at, and I'm there.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it success. Like I have not. Every time I see it, like I've seen, there are some rules who are doing this, but
who's trying to do it.
It ain't without serious problems. It ain't without people saying, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm not gonna put this pastor out there, but he a pastor and he a bro. Ain't nobody said that. Why you say that man name on you know he's a gun toting man. He gonna come up here and shoot up our house. Anyway,
everybody gets guns that day.
You know what I'm saying? But
with his Gentiles.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, you get so many people saying, you know, we moved there, we gave everything. You know what I'm saying? We sold our house and everything back here and gave them everything because that's the rules. You know, when you go to this community,
they're using what happened with the apostles as leverage, and they leveraging people who not fully understanding scripture, and that was something that there was nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but what these people doing is not that.
And then decide, you know what, you know, after I done took your wife. Oops.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So my wife was included. I'm not giving you my money, but now I'm giving you my wife too.
So I done took your wife and kicked you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now you don't have no money. You don't have no property to go back to.
And that's how you know it's a spirit, because several groups. Same thing.
That's the way to do it.
Same thing.
Hebrews. If you gonna move to a Hebrew community and you're hearing the way the apostles did it, run. There's gonna be problems. It's a difference between saying, look at Tasha. Tasha, I'm trying to be cognegro. Okay.
Cognegro.
You know what I'm saying? Tasha like, oh, I know who do that. You know, that Tasha. Anyway, if you trying to move in a Hebrew, so this is what say it's a Hebrew community, but it's got to be built. And let's say you find 140 something acres of land, and y'all all get together and say we're gonna put our money in together and we're gonna buy this land, but this land is gonna be separated and deeded out. Plot for this, plot for me. This is my plot. I got the deed. You know what I'm saying? You can do all that in a negotiation.
Absolutely.
So that the place where you build your home is your deeded out land. You have the deed. You own that. That's the only way it works.
Let me add to this because in line with what you're saying, Coach said in reality, we've had communities just no ownership. They call it black neighborhood, and back in the day, we were more family oriented.
Yes,
I 100% agree.
Yes, we was.
And so let me add this to that, sis. There don't always have to be ownership, right? But if there's a place provided, be prepared to pay rent. Like that's like what a Coach Onaya just said. Isn't that just right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody says, "Okay, I'm going to think about people who can't own yet, so I'm gonna put an apartment building. Oh, I'm gonna buy this apartment building in this community
on my deed of land. Let's say
someone already built these.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not an apartment building, but let's say it's a house. And say I bought this house, and I'm willing to lease to own. Be prepared to do for what you want. Be prepared to work for what you want. Right? Is that not right?
That's right.
Or righteous?
That even the apostles that they always try to use, even the apostles say, if you don't work if we don't come here to work, what are we good for?
You don't eat.
We don't eat. We're not just asking you to give us a meal. We're gonna work hard for this meal.
Yeah.
And then you feed.
Yeah. Yeah. If you deem that what we provided had value, then that's all we asking for the value of what we provide.
Yeah. Koti Gabor.
We gonna get some comments about that conversation.
Oh, you already know. Somebody you already know.
But that's a sore spot with mine. Koti, whenever you get your mic open, we waiting on you. That's a sore spot of mine, man, because I've seen people get abused.
Me too.
Over and over with that same scheme.
We've been in the game.
It's a scheme,
We've
man.
been in the game for years. We didn't seen it.
I'm tired of seeing men that don't want to work and want to have multiple wives work for them, or even one wife for that matter. You trying to find you a Coach to do all the work because you teach and that's your work. No, brother, you need to work.
Your job is. Let me tell you something. If your job, like now, you got some content providers who they YouTube channels and they channels making enough money where they content they job
brings in income. Fine. Yeah. If it's bringing in income, fine. Have no problem with that. I'm talking about sit up, don't do, cross your ankles, as one sister used to say. Cross your ankles up and let somebody else do all the work.
Yeah,
I know, sis. Coach,
they did. I remember that was a mess. That was a hot mess.
They was about the third or fourth that we knew about.
Yeah, by that time.
It's another one trying to do it now. I think they're on the verge. Last time I talked to them, they was trying to do it. And I'm just like, hey, listen, if that's what y'all on, that's what y'all on. I'm not gonna throw no monkey wrenches in.
Bring your money and give it to the leader. And the leader gonna put it in a big pot and determine how it's gonna be spent, bruh, you're gonna have a problem. That is not the way to do it. First of all, each man needs to be the man of his house. And why are you taking away his manhood? Talking about that's ass backwards. You know what I'm saying? When the Bruce start splitting up land, you know what I'm saying? They didn't say, give this land to the leader of Gad. They said, get this land to the Gadites and let them, what I'm saying?
And I want to say, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with offering to someone that you feel like you want to offer to. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I'm saying is give your money to. I need to know how much you make so that we can make sure you give in a certain percentage.
So you're controlling how I spend money on my family.
Yeah, we're gonna help you spend your money. We're gonna make sure that your children get what they need, and we're gonna make sure your wife get what she needs. And she already told me she ain't getting what she needs. As a matter of fact, I had her over last night. Nigga, please, we gonna have a huge problem. You understand? This stuff happens, y'all. Forgive me. My temperature is raising. I've seen this too many times, fam.
No, is that what they do?
I apologize.
Bruh.
I'm sorry, y'all.
I apologize. You got to work up, Coach. You got to work up.
Man.
Dang.
I know. It was.
Jeez.
I was
My
just talking
man
about
say-
pay for it.
Look, she say, Shanti call us Dodai aunt. We her auntie and uncle.
Hey,
She like, Aunt Cub. No, he
I'm
said,
sorry.
please.
I'm sorry. Listen, y'all. I don't know. Y'all may not know, but we've had our personal experiences with that as well, which is
Yeah.
why I'm very, very colorful and adamant about my feelings on that
Yeah.
because I've seen it up close and personal.
Yeah, me
Let
too.
me just say
It's a
I've seen
horror
it up close
story.
and personal. And
Yeah.
let me tell you something. Agdawi, you in the room? I think I'm passive. Like I think I'm like
He do, and I keep
I'll
telling
be trying
people.
to watch my back, and I love it.
I
But
keep
I'd be
telling.
like, I just want to make sure I don't want nobody to take advantage. I'm cool, man. I really am. But
I
this
keep telling
brother
people.
I'm talking about, man, I told him, I said, look, I will come see you.
I keep
Put my
telling
wife's
people.
name in your mouth. I will show up at your
I
door.
keep telling.
Please don't misunderstand me.
I keep telling.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Once I show up at your door, ain't nothing stopping me. You call whoever you want to call. Ain't nothing stopping me because it's too late at that point.
Yeah. He come across like when people first meet Shlomo, he's real like he a calm act, you know what I'm saying? But he's also he can be very ignorant and like
So I don't know if you believe me, but I
most of the times, like, I be like thinking to myself, like, how I end up with somebody so ignorant. He can get that ignorant. He can get really not ignorant. He can get ignorant.
Once every 7 years.
No. When he's not on
Your
camera,
eyes can be fucked.
children looking at him. When he's not on camera and he ain't around folks that he trying to, you know what I'm saying, be an example to,
Be a shepherd. I'm trying to be a
this
shepherd.
is ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Just I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You gonna get us? We gonna get put out? They gonna come for us? You go? Why you like that? Why you like that?
What I am, fam. What I am,
Mm.
and what Ak is, and all of y'all Oks, and which is why I appreciate y'all, is man of your own house, right? And that's what we're talking about. Like,
He said
should
South
no
Back
man
Home. Yes.
be trying to be the man of your house?
That
Period.
dude, that pisses him off. That will get under his skin. Like when we first
I
started,
wasn't raised like that.
when we first came into this truth and we started fellowshipping with this group, because the leader of the group, we was watching his videos, and technically, I guess you could say it was his teachings. They kind of introduced us to the truth or whatever, and so
He has some solid basis.
he did, and so because he was in Chicago, they start coming to our place for Shabbat. I would cook or whatever. We took turns. We
did.
And so I had and I didn't tell my husband the first time it happened. I didn't tell my husband, but like in my studies and following this Ox videos, I was writing down questions that I had about his videos. Okay, I didn't think it would be a big deal. It's just I'm watching his videos and I had questions. I just jotted down the questions to ask him for when he came.
Mm-hmm.
So he showed up at the house. And we had I used to throw down macaroni and cheese, smothered turkey with, you know what I'm saying?
We
so
eat all day and all night.
Man, so everybody full, and so I bring out my little list of questions, and I should know because my husband looked at me like, "What's that?" And I'm like,
"Don't make me out."
Yes, you did. Man. Yes, you did. And I was like, "Oh, just a few questions I had but we said it. I said it loud enough when we had got his attention. So my husband and just trying to be." He's like, oh, okay. And so I start asking the questions, I was answering or whatever. And after they left, everybody left. My husband looked at me. He's like, let me tell you something. Don't you ever do that again. And I'm like,
you made me sound like Ike.
Like, what, Ike? He like, babe, if you got questions, you know what I'm saying? Ask me first. I'm your husband. Like you ask that ain't gonna never be well with me.
This book.
Yeah, but this was before we even read that part of the book.
That's how I was raised.
This is before we even read that's scripturally how it was supposed to happen. This is before we even read it. Look, she's eat the cake. I know, right?
Don't encourage her. Don't encourage that. Mr. Rogers over here.
So anyway, and I know somebody go, if we ever throw somebody enemy, they gonna get this video and edit it. They go like, look, she's asking for help.
Yeah, I keep asking you to stop doing that.
I know.
Goodness gracious.
But anyway,
Watch out. What's the name? Gonna eat us up
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
with his faults.
But he was like, nah, babe, like run them by me. And if I don't know the answer or if I can't find the answer, I'll ask. I'm not gonna lie, seeing you talk to that dude like that disturbed me. And I'm like, baby, I can't be mad at you because it's stuff that disturbed me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not
Okay.
even start.
Okay. So, I got to respect that. Because he respect me when I can do my moves.
Yeah, that's true.
Kane,
That's
Coach.
true.
That's it.
Did a Coach T get back in? I know she had her mic up, her hand up.
Oh yeah, Coach, good boy. Did she?
I was assuming you tried to go out and come back in. Coach T, did you get your mic open? Oh, this one over here trying to make me out to be the bad guy.
You something else, boy. She said no, her mic is tripping.
Everybody needs a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, hey, there goes the bad guy.
There goes the bad
There you go, sis.
Okay, you on.
Oh, was that you, Coach T, Antoinette? Go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that, and I love the whole thing about it. I've thought about that also. But then I also think about, how many times did we have that and then they put a highway through it or they burn it down or and it would be lovely once we get to the wilderness, we'll be able to do that.
I believe that.
We'll be able to do that when we get to the wilderness.
Yeah.
I believe that too.
It's still gonna be some purging going on though.
Oh yeah, man. You're gonna see some stuff in the wilderness, Cole. You're gonna see some listen. The wilderness is gonna be painful. It's gonna be a painful experience. I mean, they're gonna be going through hell back here too, but the wilderness ain't gonna be no walk through the picnic. Because you're gonna be dealing with your own people and your own people. Just think of 70 AD. Think of what was going on behind them walls during 70 AD. And then
did I break them? Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't get them in trouble.
It was all your fault.
Must be bad. Hallelujah.
Okay. I was like, dang, they done cut them off because of me.
I was just about to say, y'all, the internet messed up. Y'all know how our internet is. It'll take, okay.
We're gonna have to wrap up when y'all finish because I think it's gonna do it again.
But just think of 70 AD and the things that they said was going on behind the walls. While the Romans was outside the gates, the Romans outside the gates study moving to take over, and the Bruce was so busy fighting themselves. So you had like, let's just say you had the leader IUIC in there and IUIC all in Jerusalem at the same time with GMS, with what's I know, man, it's sweating. You had all of them together in one space, stuck behind the wall because the Roman they was all there for the feast. When we got to come for the feast of what was the feast? One of them feasts. And so they all there together, and the Romans locked them in. And so now you got all that going on behind them. Can you imagine? They said that the Brews who live locally, they were like kicking in their doors and taking their food and their rations and things in order to feed the leaders and all that. It was crazy. And that's what you're gonna have in the wilderness again. So be ready for that.
Akote Anaya, you said I like to start practicing for then. I don't want to not be ready. Plus all the stuff they doing with our foods now. So one of the things that we like to say and to do is to remind people that when we doing these appointed times, these appointed feasts and stuff like that, that's practice, right? Because at those times you coming together with like-minded brews for fellowship, for communion, for food, for prayer, for praise. That is the time to practice because often you have a lot of different personalities in a space for an extended period of time, especially if it's over the duration of a few days. And that is the opportunity to practice patience, meekness, and kindness, and humility, and all the fruits of the Spirit.
So when we do booths is the ultimate test. Like when we all come together for booth for 7 days, you know what I'm saying? You got so many personalities out there. And you know what I'm saying? One of the things that we stress is, you know what I'm saying, we have to learn to we have to learn to get along and see each other. You know what I'm saying? You have to get used to all those different. Now, for us, booth normally be Latasha entertaining us all. But Latasha Okoti Gabora and Okoti Kimmy entertaining us all. They'll just be the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you get to know each of these personalities, and as long as you know, like the adversary will have you believe that your sister or your brother want to harm you,
Right.
or they saying something malicious about you, or talking about you behind your back and stuff. The adversary always placing these little nuggets of doubt in our head, or you know, she says something in the wrong way and I took it as an offense, whatever. Come to her and talk to her. You know, ask her, because she could have just been talking regularly, but you got the spirit of offense on you. You know what I'm saying? And so you took it a certain way, and you know what I'm saying. So come to like Coty, you know, back when I had said that,
That's book.
you know what I'm
Also,
saying?
yeah.
Did you mean that, or is the devil just is your girl the devil talking to you? I would have never, you know what I'm saying? Well, and y'all grow closer. You know, that'll help you go closer.
Yeah.
But booth is definitely practice.
Booth is the big one.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you know, the your weekly fellowship as well. I know we do this online because most of us are so far apart. But imagine if we were in a closer area and we were coming together at whatever,
Yeah.
you know, that would also be practice.
Yeah.
We, you know, that, and that's what we did. Of course, that originated in our exile and in our captivity, because we, you know, we had to find a place to get together for Torah reading and for Shabbat fellowship and stuff like that. But that's what it was about. It was about fellowship. It was about study and all that. Always a blessing, family. And we'll talk to y'all next Shabbat. Y'all willing.
Shalom, family.
Shalom.
See you
Bye,
tomorrow.
Shanti girl. Bye, Shanti baby. Bye, Auntie baby.
That's big
See, I'm trying to stay incognito over here.
Nah, you ain't. I see you.
Why you go? You can't wait till we end and come to the mic. You supposed to be at the mic.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm over here. I was messaging Kimmy and everything. It's fine.
Cover 4 corners of my garment. Greet me with shalom before you step into my carpet. Yah is not the author of confusion. I beg your pardon, but Yahuwah Zabaoth can stop it before it's even thought about. Think of me stressed because I've been blessed by the best. I'm cold as fresh. I'm cold as fresh. I'm too blessed to be stressed because I've been blessed by the best. I'm cold as fresh.